how's it going? Welcome to Fistivities. KB with you, Karyn, Bryant. Let me just see. Hey, kid, let me know if the lighting looks okay. Welcome to the show. But I'm seeing monitoring from your screen, and let me know if it looks okay. Jeez Louise, I got the kid here with me, folks, and so I actually have some production help, and just asking her if the lighting looks okay. But anyway, welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to episode 86 of Fistivities. Tonight we have Phil Rowe with us, and he is fighting Neil Magny coming up in a couple of weeks at UFC in Jacksonville. I'll be working that one. I'm looking forward to it, and so we will talk to him about that. We will also preview this weekend's UFC 289, and we will look back at what happened this past weekend. And that was what I meant to do, and I'll look at the poll results. Yeah. Okay, first and foremost, let me just say hi to a couple people here. Hi, Suavecito. 6, how are you? Hello, Hero Morales. Let's go. That's right. Let's go. So tonight, as I just said, we will have Phil with us. So if you missed last week, we had Chase Hooper, really nice guy. And he, of course, was coming off his recent win over Nick Fiore. So we talked to Chase about the win and going up in a new weight class. And there was a lot to talk about, actually. And I didn't know, interesting story with him, I didn't know that he had been on his own from a very young age. And so maybe that I think definitely helped prepare him for being so young in the UFC. But anyway, definitely worth checking out the show. That was episode 85 last week with Chase Hooper. And the one before that had Tim Elliott, who was victorious this past weekend. In fact, actually, let me see. I should be able to show you some of that while we talk about it. But yeah, so last week we had Tim on with us, and so he was talking about he had been off for a long time. It had been some time since he had fought, but the story that a lot of people kind of really went with was the story that he told us of his breakup with Gina Mazzani, who's also a fighter. So he went in depth on that, and you may have seen little bits and pieces of that elsewhere, but we really went into it. And the thing is, it's not like, oh my God, it's just a serious show. We had a lot of fun with him as well. But here it was Tim doing his best work against Altamirano, or maybe not his best work, because actually after the fight, he said he wasn't that pleased with his performance, basically. But anyway, Tim did get the win. So you can go back and look at that show. That was episode 84. Sorry, I just got distracted here. We're still playing. For those of you who don't know, you can also find our show for audio downloads. It's on Stitcher, it's on Amazon Music, it's on Spotify and Apple Podcast. So if you prefer to listen to the show while you're commuting or doing whatever, you can always do that as well. And so those are a few places that you can download it. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. My kid and I, we laugh about that, like different, just the corny sort of funny sayings that every YouTuber has, like, hi guys, like welcome to the show, and like and sub. But for real, like and sub. If somebody had asked me in the comments, they said, oh my God, like how are so many people sleeping on the show, and why don't more people know about it? And I thank you for that. It's a nice compliment. I think really what it is, and I answered this person even just saying, like, we don't have big sponsors. We don't have big corporations behind us. So basically all we have to promote it is kind of our own social media, which is tough, and there's a lot of things out there. So it's hard to break through the noise. So if you guys can help us, and by sharing things, Renato posts a lot of clips. I've been posting more clips of the show. You can always even share full episodes of the show right from YouTube or whatever. That will help. And I actually came up with an idea of something that I might want to talk to you guys about, of how we can kind of integrate you into YouTube and into different things going on with the show to hype that. So I think there's a lot to be said for that. I think it could be really cool. So, but yes, oh my God, Suavecito, how about Bruce Leroy? I should have loaded up the footage, So Alex Caceres, also a former guest of ours. I have the list right here. I think he was episode 74 4, something like that. But he picked up a big win in the co-main event against Daniel Pineda. And if you guys saw, there were a couple of things that were pretty close. So there was an armbar, and I believe there was a Kimura that were very close. And Alex kind of basically went full Dan Hardy against GSP and just went like rubber arm. And so when we were coming back from work, we had gotten dropped off from the shuttle, Sugar and I. And so as we were walking into the hotel, we ran into Alex. And so we were talking to him for quite some time. And those two were kind of showing each other different wrestling moves and stuff. And that's what I'm saying. I filmed a little something, and Alex might have actually shared it. So you can maybe look on his social. But yeah, really happy for him. And the first time that I'd interviewed Alex Caceres was all the way back in 2011. It's on my YouTube here if you want it. It's from, the Ultimate Fighter and stuff, which is crazy. So it's really cool to see how far he's come, and he's just doing so great. And we were kind of saying that it's growing into his man muscles and stuff. But yeah, he really turned it around. And I guess that was my point, admitted that the armbar and the Kimura were quite close. And so he just decided, not today type thing, but they were definitely close. And yes, Anakin Skywalker, I gotta agree with you, and I gotta clap about this. Chris Weidman, also a former guest of ours on a very special episode of Fistivities. Yeah, Chris Weidman is going to be back in action against, I guess, Brad Tavares, right? Which is like, bro, like okay, so we're just stepping right back into the fire because Brad is no joke. So I think that's really exciting. Chris is a really good guy, so I'm excited to see him back. And what a just whatever, win or lose, returning after breaking his leg and being everything that he's been through is just a really great story. So I'm excited for him. But I do have to let me look up the exact episode number. It's too important because for some of you know, Renato and Chris have a history with each other. That history does live on the internet, so you can look it up. I'm not going to get into all of it now, but we did think that it was appropriate for us at one point to have kind of, like I said, a very special episode, a hand-holding episode, an episode in which these two got back. Well, I don't want to say got back together, but I'm just saying like worked some stuff out. So that episode with Chris, geez, when was that? Oh my gosh, episode 21. It's amazing that was that long ago. Well, we'll have to have Chris back on again before the fight in August, but geez Louise. So it's pretty cool, and even with tonight with Phil, our guest tonight, he is fighting Neil Magny, and Neil is like, come on, everybody loves Neil Magny. He was on our show. He was episode number 59, if you want to look that one up. So, whenever it gets to the point where people are fighting each other that have been on the show, may the best man win. But if you've been on the show and your opponent hasn't, then obviously we're all in on you. That reminds me, something that we will get to a little later. We will have a Chidi's choice for Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana, the UFC 289 main event. For those of you who don't know, Chidi is a bearded dragon lizard, and he picks fights. He has a winning record. And last week, he picked Kai Kara France. So here's the thing that I'm just going to, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry about that, folks. Pressed the wrong button. I want to just share something while I'm talking about this, because this will, I think it'll just help to have this going on in the background as well. But at any rate, Chidi last week picked Kai Kara France as our winner. And Ashley, while I get into this, let me welcome in. I've got another winner with us. 27-time world, let me hit pause on this, 27-time world jiu-jitsu champion who I know has an opinion on this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hope the favela Wi-Fi is cooperating tonight. Mr. Renato LaRaja. Hey.
Oh, God, you look at me.
Hi.
Yeah, how is the Wi-Fi?
It looks pretty good. How are you?
Look at that one. Oh, caralho.
Sorry, I'll bump mine up because you did look a little brighter than me now. I'm trying to even it out.
Well, light, bright, and almost white. Porra.
Not quite.
I'm kidding. I'm caramel. I'm Egyptian cinnamon. I'm gingerbread. I'm toast sesame. All that good stuff.
Well, you're here also, so thank you for being relative.
I am here. Look at you with your little.
The show starts at 7, though, right?
Never mind that. Look, let's focus on you and how beautiful you are. Uh, Look at you. Now on someone like yourself? Is that called a ponytail?
Yeah, all it is just
Yeah,
a high ponytail, and I left a
yeah.
little out for the bangs.
See, what I would do is I would have you in a little cheerleader outfit, okay? And you're gonna come over to my house wearing that one. You're gonna drive to my house like that, okay? Pom poms, all that shit, okay? And you're
Two,
gonna.
4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Renato, Renato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed, poor huh? And it's like UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You
You
ugly.
ugly.
Okay,
You ugly.
kind of stuff.
That'd be
And then I'm
fun.
gonna be like the coach or whatever, huh?
Did I just say that'd be fun? That's weird.
Oh, see, because that's your true self. That's your true vagina
I
talking.
can't believe I actually said that. Oh,
Because you
oh
know
God.
that that's true.
Oh my God. I actually,
Because imagine it
I
would
think
be
I was
fun.
thinking of somebody else though.
Yeah.
Because the
Isn't that a
scenario is
shame?
good. I might just be driving to somebody else's house.
That's okay, but you're gonna be getting in some haps, some repetition to prepare for Yonko Hanachi. Oh God, yeah. Um, but anyway, yeah, I like to do a whole playing sometime. It's
Do,
fun.
do you? Okay. Well,
Oh
listen, our
yeah.
guest
Oh yeah.
is already waiting, so we will talk role playing maybe later. We do, folks, always get into dating questions and things. So if you have some, maybe dating troubles, some things, Hanats, right? Like they can ask us some questions and we can try to help them out.
Yeah,
Um,
we can do
oh,
that.
we usually do get into that after our guests, and like I said, we'll preview UFC 289. And I had started to talk about Kai Car France versus Albazi. We'll get into that, but since our guest is here, let's just get to it. He is fighting at UFC Jacksonville. That
Oh
is just
God.
in a couple of weeks. I'm excited to be working that one. He is up against Neil Magny, a former guest of ours, who's just
Wow.
a really good guy. Always a tough
Let me
out.
open one button for this to get comfortable here.
Coming off a win over Nico Price. Ladies and gentlemen, Philly Fresh, Phil Rowe.
Yo,
Hey,
yo, what it do?
Oh God.
how are
What's
you?
good, man?
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Look
Hanato,
at you.
Salam.
what's the word, Hanato?
Listen, this is a long time coming. We've been waiting for you. I've been waiting to see you on the Flash.
Yo, man, shout out to Hanato, man. I've been a big fan of this guy since like 2013, man. I love what he does.
Wow.
I think he's awesome, man. I think he's awesome.
Don't blow
Uh,
Nico up.
Listen, I God, if I had a nickel for every time I heard
Here.
that, I will. But I appreciate that, and you becoming one of my favorite fighter. Okay,
Appreciate it, man.
and let me tell you something. You putting your money where your mouth is. Because a lot of guys can talk shit. A lot of guys have a big fucking mouth. But boy, oh boy, do you, especially in that last fight. I don't want to bury the lead or whatever, but fuck the way you did Nico Pricey. I thought this was gonna be you chop his chest, and porra, I did not. I thought you have a chance to win that one, but I didn't see like it to be like that. And I'm sure you did, but I didn't saw that. So I was very impressed.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. The thing with me, Hanato, man, like, my team knows it, man. A lot of guys, they say they don't fight to their potential, and
Mm,
I tell you,
it's true.
I'm not fighting to half of what I can do.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is I'm still violently finishing people. Like, I know
Mm,
what I can do. I know what I do in the gym. I know what I do to the guys that I train with. Um,
yeah.
so the second I lock in there, it's gonna be scary, man, because
Yeah.
these guys know me. They can pretend like they don't. They all know me. I'm 6 feet 4 inches tall. I have an 83-inch reach.
You that tall? I didn't realize you that fucking tall.
I'm 6'4", man.
Are
That's
you serious?
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy for a
Okay.
welterweight.
Oh,
I mean, because
this whole
Neil is
time I
tall
never knew
too,
that.
but dang,
No, I'm 6'4". Yeah. So,
Wait, and what you weigh? I mean, walking around.
170.
No, but walking.
I
Yeah.
walk around now. I'm getting bigger every fight. Now I'm like 180, 198. I'm almost 200 pounds.
Okay, that makes sense because I'm 6 feet and I'm walking around about that.
Okay.
So fuck.
Yeah, man.
You got them cinnamon sticks like your Uncle Hanach. You got those chicken leg. Oh God, are you?
Well,
And,
yeah.
and
So for once, Neil will have kind of a lot of time. Neil out, is much taller than his opponents.
Yeah.
But I want to back up for a second, though, Phil. Why haven't you shown all your potential yet? What's holding you back? How come the guy in the gym is not the guy we see in the octagon?
it takes time, right?
It's the white man.
No.
Yeah, the white man is holding you back, boy.
The white man's holding me down. They've been holding us down for 400 years, man.
Get up off his neck, boy. Huh?
Nah, it takes time and comfortability, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still learning. And if you can hear the coaching in between my rounds, it's hard pressed. I fought 4 times. You find a clip where I'm getting instruction. Every round you hear, Phil, come on, man, we got to go, man. We're here, Phil. Come on, Phil, let's go. We're here, Phil. Come on, let's go.
Because they know.
They know. Once I lock in, it's a wrap. You got to think like I've been giving guys looks for a long time. So these guys in the UFC, they could say what they want. They know me. A lot of them know me. I've trained with a lot of them. I have an 83-inch reach. I'm 6 feet 4 inches tall. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu in the gi. I've been training with Jacare for 7 years. I've been training with some of the best.
I met Jacare years ago.
He's awesome.
And I said some slick shit to him. And he wasn't happy.
Wait, did you meet him at the Jiu-Jitsu Expo?
Yeah.
That's when I met you. I remember. Yeah.
Okay, so that was a long time ago. And I think it was Thiago Alves who introduced us. Nice. And he came over. Thiago came with a shit-eating grin, introducing me to him. And I said something that, it's a pleasure for him to meet me or something like that. And he was like, the fuck?
Wasn't having it.
And then I just left him with that. I was like, oosh, and he was like, he didn't know it hit him for him.
No, that's funny. That was in 2013. That was the first time I met you. I met Jacare that day. I met everybody that day. A
lot of people was there.
Oh my goodness, it was stacked. I mean,
yeah,
they're literally. I want to say Marcelo was there too. Everybody was there.
Frankie Edgar was there.
Everybody.
Both of the Diaz brothers was there.
Yep. And I was with Tanquinho.
Yeah. Tanquinho is a fuck. Well, we can talk about him another time, but when he went into MMA, I was very surprised. I was like, oh, he's not playing around. You know what I mean? Like, I became a big fan of his MMA, his Vale Tudo. And now I don't know where the fuck he is with Vale Tudo.
Yeah, he's going through a little. Yeah, I mean, but Renato, I used to train with Renato a long time. My first instructor is a black belt underneath him, so I was actually there working his booth. Yeah, man, that day was pretty cool. But shout out to Tanquinho, man, that's my guy.
I think I was probably hitting on Mackenzie Dern at that time.
You still are.
I probably was.
By the way, she was on our show a couple weeks ago, folks, or a few weeks back. Like, he was hitting on her, whatever.
Yeah, I've known Mackenzie a long time too. That's when I met her actually.
Get in the line, bro.
Listen, can you blame her for being attracted from me? She was like a she was like a child, starstruck. I can't control that.
I don't know if that's actually what happened.
I'm a matinee idol for her.
When was she on?
I don't know, like a month ago, 2 months ago.
I will tell you exactly what episode Mackenzie was on. Mackenzie
was speechless,
was episode 69, of course. That's why we have an episode. How can I forget?
Yeah.
How many episodes have you guys had?
You're episode 86.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, so for those who don't know, I mean, that's the thing, so a lot of people ask about this and they're like, wow, what are you doing? Or they're like, look at Renato, he'll post a clip and they're like, hey, Renato, when are you going to get your show back? I'm like, mother cracker, 86 episodes. Like, what the hell do you think this is?
They also go, when are you going to do some interviews again? When you go, and it's underneath an interview.
What?
And then they go, hey, this is great, but when are you going to do a podcast? And I go, I don't know. I maybe I'm old. I thought this was a fucking podcast.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, exactly. It is. This is a podcast. This is the visual version of it. You can also download the audio, but it's like, this is a podcast. It's a show. We have interviews and we also talk about other stuff. Like, I don't understand what people are missing or like what they're not connecting with.
This is good. The only thing, my only advice is consistency. Just stay with it.
We have been every week.
Episodes every Tuesday night.
We don't miss a fucking week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if
It's
both
like,
of us is out of town or something like that, we fucking somebody is via satellite. You
exactly.
know?
Yeah. So it's, but and I was telling folks before, I had some ideas we'll get into later about how people can help. But anytime you guys are watching this and you see stuff that you like, please help us and share it. But so, okay. So you just haven't locked in. And I understand that, like Octagon experience is a real thing and cage time, is a thing, right? And fight IQ comes with more.
Oh, of course.
So you're going to be up though, Phil, against like the most experienced guy. Like
True, true.
so much experience. So what do you make of the matchup, and like what do you think is your best plan of attack? Like where would you find his weakness?
First off, shout out to Neil Magny.
Yeah.
Neil Magny was one of the guys that before I got to the UFC, he actually showed me a lot of love. He reached out to me. I was actually supposed to go train with him.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay at his home and train with him. So shout out to Neil
Wow.
Magny.
He's a good dude.
Well, no good deed goes unpunished. Look at what the fucking thank you he get.
Facts.
Nice.
Gonna be bad, but and on the
Wow.
flip side is this: when I'm still not in the position in the UFC yet where I'm calling shots, right? So when I get a call, I get named. I'm like, oh, they're like, Phil, you're fighting this guy, right? Phil, you're fighting that guy.
They don't even ask you.
Look, Renato, being real, when I first got to the UFC, and I'm not like putting nobody out. I'm just telling like
No, we're not.
Right.
No. This is literally just what happened. So I when I went on the Contender, a couple months later, I see a fight poster. It is UFC Brazil, Phil Rowe versus Laureano Staropoli. I'm like, no one called me.
Okay.
I called my coach, and I'm like, I'm low key kind of nervous. Not on some. I'm like, I didn't know this is how the UFC worked. So I just assumed like, yo, these niggas just put me on a poster and then I gotta go. What if I'm in New York?
You know what this is? This is just like the movie and the TV business. It's like they don't give a fuck. They just like boom. If he wants it, he wants it. If not, get somebody else.
No. They posted me on the thing.
I understand. I
call my coach and I'm like, yo, am I fighting? He's like, nobody called me. So I call my manager. He's like, man, sorry, Phil, this never happened. We didn't mean to drop the ball on this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, I'm not taking this. It don't work. You know what I mean?
Oh, you stood up for yourself.
Yeah. And
interesting.
And once again, and that's a little sidebar on how I got it. But I'm one of one in the UFC. When I say that, man, I say that wholeheartedly. There's nobody in the UFC relatively close to who I am as a person, my personality, my charisma. These guys, they capitalize off me so much. And all the UFC, the second they give me that light, the second they give me that spotlight, that media push, just watch,
Oh, I already know that. I already know.
Renato, look, man, I don't want to name drop on here, man. But when I say these guys, I've been doing what I've been doing for years. My jerseys, my music, my culture for years.
I've been paying attention.
Shout out to Mighty Mouse. I just saw Mighty Mouse 2 weeks ago.
Love him. Former guest.
He
Former
had
guest.
Shirt on. My t-shirt,
wow.
Right?
Nice.
It wasn't my shirt. He took my shirt design and made it into his own shirt.
Get the fuck out of here.
I say this all the time. The UFC is my NBA, right? I say it all the time. My blessing was basketball. I let that pass me by, but not working hard. I've been making jerseys with like my gym, from 2014. You can literally scroll my Instagram. 2015, 14. I have a shirt. It's an MMA Jam shirt, right? From
MMA shit.
Jam. It is a cartoon picture of me with stats, like the video game.
Yeah,
coolest shirt. Of course, yo, side note, Renato knows the culture. He gets
of course.
He gets the culture, and he knows
about
it, right? So many people tag me and said, Phil, I'm like, I see it all the time. I watch Sugar Sean O'Malley. Shout out to him. I'm not mad at none of these guys making their money, but I watch these guys capitalize off of my charisma, my ideas, what I literally see it. I'm not that popping yet because they're not pushing me. I don't know what's with the fucking UFC. Every fight I'm in,
some people get pushed, Phil, some don't.
Fight,
I mean, I can tell you the same story.
Fight, I don't pay attention to the lines, but people tell me every fight. I'm like, is there something I don't know? Is like, am I about to fight two people? Like, they just dismiss me. If you watch my fights and you listen to the commentary, they don't. It's so dismissive, and then boom, I win, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
That's all you can do.
And look,
I will say this though, timeout. I wouldn't say necessarily dismissive. It's just that if you're up against Nico Price, people know Nico more. Nico's had ridiculous knockouts from,
Cool.
underneath or
great.
whatever. So there's an expectation of I guess I got to defend my guys a little bit. You know what I mean? That they're not out there trying to bury you when they're
I'm
calling a
here
fight.
too. Is my point. I'm
Yeah.
a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I'm a black belt in gi jiu-jitsu. I'm a knockout artist. I have 100% finish rate. Every fight I've been in my entire life, if I've won, I finished the fight.
Awesome.
Amateur or pro, boxing, kickboxing, every fight I've ever been in. So like when I look at these, and people don't pay attention because you probably don't pay attention that much, but I do because it's me. And I'm like, are these motherfuckers this guy? Cool. Look, shout out to Neil Magny. When they gave me the name, he had already said yes to me. So I don't know what they think.
He's a G. He'll say yes to anybody.
Cool.
Oh, that's true. One thing you can say about him, yeah.
Yep, I get it. And
But
that's gonna be a terrible yes that he's gonna have to deal with.
hey, listen, my brother. You know the thing is, you gotta realize. Listen, you know me. You can count on one hand the amount of times the UFC have brought up my name, and I'm a black belt jiu-jitsu. I'm a golden sash in full contact capoeira. I have Egyptian cinnamon skin, baby brown eyes, a perfect body. What the fuck else you want? Sometimes you can't please these people, and you're gonna let your resume do the talking. Okay.
Fact.
Exactly.
And one thing I can say about you, one thing I can say is you stuck in this thing that happens to. Sometimes you have guys that's like world class, that's future champion, and then every time they fight, you can dismiss it because they're knocking out somebody and they look impressive, but you never heard of the guy. You know what I'm saying? So you need to do what you've been doing to stars. You know what I'm
So
saying?
that's the whole thing. So beating Magny will be a step in the right
Yeah,
direction.
but I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying this is the only thing I can say is that certain people, like I seen it with maybe Conor McGregor when he first started. Every fucking time they will go, yeah, wow, look, he look amazing, but wait till he get this guy. Then he do that. They go, oh, okay. But that and John Jones in the beginning, there was like, oh, he looked like that against American Psycho or whatever.
Right.
But come on.
Very true.
And then
Wait,
boom,
Shogun,
you know what I'm saying? So
Shogun, and then, yeah.
even fans of you secretly don't know. They go, well, he looks unbeatable, but what happens if he gets to Joe Blow and then the next fucking dude or whatever? You know what I'm saying? So your time is coming, my brother.
Facts. No.
Your
You
chi-
make sense, man. And if you,
Yeah.
what Renato said, go watch John Jones' first three
Yeah.
fights. It's comical because we know who he is, the GOAT,
Yeah.
bar none, first ballot Hall of Famer, the best
Yeah.
guy ever put on MMA gloves. And
Yeah.
when you watch his first three fights, you'll be like, who are these guys? Do they know? And they literally talk about the other guys.
Yeah.
And they're so dismissive of John Jones.
Right.
Two black guy on his head, boom, 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 fight over. Like, oh my God. Okay, this guy. So I get it.
And
Yeah,
I
and
remember working his early fights and like interviewing him early on and stuff like that. And it's kind of crazy, looking back and seeing what he's become. So just like channel that energy.
He was a lot nicer when he was on the come up. You know, he had that Dirk Diggler energy. Like, I'm just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, no, John used to be real churchy. Like he was always like,
for sure,
quoting the Bible a lot more when he was coming up and this and that.
But
and to
also,
the point where we were like, yeah, but you're just a badass fighter. Like you don't need to talk about the Bible.
I get
let's
it.
lean into the fight stuff more, you know?
But what we have to realize too is he was a child. You know, he's a 22, 23-year-old kid. So he's growing up in front of, you know what I mean, the media. So we're all critical of him, you know, but I also think like people fail to realize how young 22 is.
Oh, for sure.
21 is,
I know.
You know, and you're the man at 21. You're the
Super
man
sub.
at 22, you know, so it's a big deal.
It is.
Some of the girls I date, I have to remind myself, she's only 22. She's only 21. Just remember what you was like back then, 3 years ago.
Oh my God. You're 100% right in that though, Phil. So let's say you get past Neil, who I believe is still in top 15, right?
I think he's number 11 or 10. He like fluctuates between.
Right.
He's always
okay.
in the mix. Yeah,
But this is an opportunity for you, right?
Yeah.
To get in the rankings.
of course.
So when you look at him, though, like I was saying
Yeah.
before, like, you know, we know he's a guy that can take a fight anywhere. Like, where do you beat him?
Respectfully, and I'm just shooting it straight. Neil Manny's not better than me anywhere, right?
Okay.
I got knockout power in both hands. I'm very good at jiu-jitsu. The only thing, he has a 15-minute window to try to win a match. For me, if you're in there with a guy like Phil, like 100% of the time, if I beat you, I'm going to knock you out or submit you, period. There's no in between. If not, I'm going to lose. So I have 15 minutes to find this guy's chin, who's not used to fighting tall guys, who's not used to fighting the guys with reach, footwork. It's going to be very hard for him. You know, he does get hit. He doesn't like to get hit. He likes to clinch. And I think the one area where he is good is he's good at octagon control, but I don't play those games. You know, I don't waste time wrestling. I'll pull guard if I have to. I just don't see it. I played the fight a million times, and I'm super critical of myself. I watch over and over. I watch film a sickening amount. DC, Michael Bisping. So many people said, "Phil, you watch too. Don't worry about me." That's what I do. I go on his Instagram. I want to see if he's at Publix. I want to see if he's at
Interesting.
I'm obsessive, right?
Yeah. No thy enemy for her.
I don't see it. And he gonna have to show me. I just don't know what I'm not gonna be the first guy he knocks out. I don't know what he's gonna do. And the second I lock in, bye-bye. You know, grab some popcorn and watch. But if you better pray I'm on autopilot, you better pray that I'm, you know, still getting my bearings. But the second I lock in, I'm too violent, I'm too dangerous, I got too much fight ending ability. And that's just statistics. So we'll see, man. I just don't see it any way, shape, or possible. Nico Price is a way more dangerous fighter than him, and I had no problem with Nico. And I felt like Spider-Man, like when he first got his powers with Nico. I was so tentative. I could have done that in 40 seconds. I swear. But I was so tentative, and I put him too high in my head. So slow, and I was catching everything. They had on the punch totals him hitting me 150 times. I looked just like this after the fight. I'm like, what are you guys watching? Like, watch it. Tell me. I didn't get hit more than 10 times the whole fight. But
interesting.
I was catching for rounds. And catching. And then I put him too much here. I kept telling myself, Phil, relax. Don't get caught. Don't be silly. And I wasn't going. And then finally, it took me getting hit in the third round, and then I just went. And then there was it was just hammer on a nail. There was no, it was just offense. And if you look at all my fights, that's how it is. It's like me getting controlled or losing right around. Not bad, just positionally. And then steamroll. There's no in between. There's no like fighting back and forth. It's like Phil not fighting, and then I win the fight every single time. Look at my fight with Jason Witt. Whole first round, he held me down. Nothing happened. Second round, he took me down, got up, KO. Same thing with Orion Koski. Held me down the whole first round, got up, KO. No in between. I just got to wake up, lock in. I can fight anybody in the top 5.
You know that he remind me of when you're saying this? He remind me of street fights. You know how sometimes a guy is ready to go and you're thinking, oh, he must really know what he's doing to be this confident. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, and then you're like, wait, what's going on? And then you might get hit in the chops or whatever, and you go, oh, now fuck that. You know what I mean?
Is that KB, Pete? I'm in the octagon. Right hand to God, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm held up on the cage. Orion Koski has his head underneath my jaw. I have a wizard. I'm like this, ready?
Right.
Phil, you're fighting. You got to go now. Wake up. I literally was sitting there. I'm like, Phil, you got to go. You got to go now. This was the audible in my head.
Right.
I was like, you got to go right now. Come on. And then I just, we're fighting. I don't know what it is. I'm so calm. I try not to get caught up in the moment, and then I get caught up because I'm too chill.
Is there something else in your warm-up you need to do backstage or something to get you as if, you know, because you don't want to do too much. People talk about the shakeout and this and that. Like, you don't want to do too much. so that you're tired when you get there, but maybe you need to get popped a little bit, few more times
I
backstage or
know,
something.
but look, I don't. The higher up I get, I can't give away rounds. I can't
Yeah.
let guys
You
get off.
can't.
I gotta
No.
go right away.
Right.
So we're working on that, and I'm not nervous. I'm dancing in the back. I'm chilling. I don't know what it is. It just takes me a little bit to get going. I like to be defensively responsible. I like to see everything, but it takes me some time. I'm kind of like Cowboy with better defense.
I was literally just gonna say Cowboy, and that's the thing. But Cowboy was in a lot of 5-round fights, Phil. So you had time. Like in a
I would
3-round
love
fight,
five.
you don't have time to
I
give
would
up a
love it.
round.
I would love 5-round fights, but
Yeah.
but we'll see. This fight,
You know what?
and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna do it early.
You know what's interesting? There's something about a physical connection with somebody. Up until you actually touch the person, whether or not you're getting hit or it's just a touch, something about before you make physical contact with somebody, even if you're playing sports, it gets you okay. I know this. You know what I mean? Like just
Yep.
It
that's
makes
when
it
you
real all of a
finally
sudden.
touch.
Absolutely.
You know?
You're talking like a fighter, man. That's literally
Wow. I wonder
Talking
why.
about somebody who
God,
reads about fighting.
that's
oh, God. Oh boy. The best to ever did it.
that's
Oh,
literally
God.
it. It takes that exchange, and then
Yeah.
it comes down. Okay, this is
Well,
Yeah.
this guy, so Stick says you're ranging him, you're sizing him up, and then you play him out, and then pop. So there you go. There you go. But
Yeah, but there's something about before you touch each other, it's in your head. It's all like still fantasy land. And then when you touch, you go, "Oh, I know this dance. I know this thing."
Yep.
And you go, "This is just what I do." But
I
until
might say
then,
you're
it's
talking
like, whoa.
40 hours a week, like a 9 to 5. And when you're in there, it's so. Then you grab. Oh, okay, it's the same thing we've been doing. Okay.
Yeah. I seen some big black women who is like built like a brick shit house, okay? And then some friends go, "Oh, carajo, I don't know if I can handle that." And I go, "Make way." I go, "Gang way, porra. Make way." Your Uncle
you like a
Hanach,
big
no,
old nut?
listen, I'm not scared of none of that one. When you get in there, all that bad mammy jammy shit and all that stuff, it's all the same. Then you get in there and you do what you do, carajo.
Phil, are you single? Are you married? What's your
Married.
deal?
I'm
Married?
Got
Yeah,
He's married, and let me tell you something, if I may say so myself. She's a very attractive young lady, carajo.
Thank you, man.
hands off nuts.
He's did very well. Look, I don't got my hands, but I'm not blind, carajo.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you,
But
man.
do you guys have kids?
Yes,
Unfortunately.
I
Yeah.
just welcomed my son Kobe into the world. He is
You only have one?
2. Amaya,
Okay, you have a daughter too, no?
Yeah, Maya.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
should be 3 July 7th.
It's a cutie
And
pie.
my son Kobe. He was born about 6 weeks ago. Excuse me.
Oh gosh, that's a brand new baby.
Oh, brand new human, the 2023, brand new.
Yeah.
New mom.
So sleep is not your friend anymore, carajo.
What's crazy is
Hmm.
this little niglet sleeps, man. He be out. So he literally
What?
he just
Nice.
sleeps and eats.
So the black
Was
part,
drunk
you
on
can
the
tell
breast milk.
he's
Oh.
really yours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My wife knew what she was doing. She came up. She just wanted some Jamaican gene, and that's
Nice.
it. Made
Well,
her
so
look-
I have to ask you about that, right? Because
I was
my
gonna
mom
ask you
is
too.
Jamaican.
Say again.
My mom is Jamaican, so I had to ask you
you
about your
done
whole
know.
thing.
A serious thing. That's what's up. Shout out to
So
your mother.
where is the Jamaican in your family?
Everybody. My mother, my father, my grandfather, everybody. The kids are born in New York. Everybody else is from Jamaica.
Okay.
When I found out he was from Brooklyn, I was like, "Oh, he's Jamaican."
He's Jamaican, exactly.
That's
So is
true.
everybody a row? Because so my mom is a walker.
Okay.
And so back on the island, and then there was Lindos as well. So we got to go through the whole family thing about like whose family knows who's what or whatever.
Oh wait, are you related to Delhoy?
Yeah,
Who's that?
actually, I
Lindo?
think Delroy Lindo, because I interviewed him once.
He's Jamaican
and I-
100%.
No.
I know, I love him. I did interview
Yeah.
Who?
him.
What's his
We did
name?
That movie he did.
Delhoy Lindo.
Delroy
No,
Lindo. He did that movie with Holly.
You know
or
him.
Holly,
I gotta
whatever.
see
The
it.
little
You ever
kid
seen-
Holly from Raising Arizona, who I love. But
You
yeah,
ever seen Malcolm X?
Yes.
Right, related to him somehow.
He's the
Yeah.
guy who ended up. Oh, go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, Delroy Lindo. You don't know who he is?
If I see him, I'm the name is drawn up. Of course, I've seen Malcolm X. I walked out with the Denzel walk to my fight, and nobody knew what it was. Minus like, that.
But yeah, so is everybody, all the Jamaicans? So if you're, so obviously your dad's name was Rowe. What was your mom's maiden name?
Jiscom.
Wade.
What?
Jiscom.
Hovey versus Wade. Oh God, never mind.
Jiscom. So my mother's from Montego Bay, and my father's from St. Elizabeth.
Okay. Well, I don't know if, it's funny because sometimes my mom watches live, but she lives, actually, you're in Florida. She lives in Vero Beach. So sometimes she watches this next day, because otherwise, if she was watching this live, she would be piping in on whether or not she knows like folks from your family or something like that. But
her mom have a crush on me. That's why she watched that one, Carayo. She know that I check one of that bedroom bully, Carayo, and I lay it down on that one. I check that Irish moss for her. And I get on some more flicks. Time to up. I give her the mad cobra. Hey, listen. I'm not.
You stop.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat that one, Karol.
Listen.
You don't know.
This is sacred.
Bad man thing. And me control the area here. Me control this place from birth.
You can't touch me, mom.
And the milk coming in the sky, not for you, not for me, not for no one. I want mine here tonight.
Oh shit!
You understand?
Awesome. No, so obviously Aljo, Rude Boy, Randy Jackson, like that. We got to get UFC Jamaica going.
Oh, you done Randy Brown, Delano.
Bryant. You said Randy Jackson,
Brown, I said Randy Jackson.
Yeah,
oh, God.
No for me, dog.
That's not Randy Jackson.
Randy Brown's fighting in June with me.
That's right. That's right.
That's my.
Boy. And then there was somebody else is part Jamaican.
O'Day Osborne.
Exactly.
Leon Edwards is Jamaican.
And Leon.
Oh yeah, Leon Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Uriah Hall.
Yep, of course.
That's
I know
true.
He's retired, but he'll come and do a boxing.
Former guest.
We love Uriah. Yeah. No, there's a lot. There's a lot. For sure. So listen, you bring up your mom, and that is something that you spoke about after your win in Orlando. How is she doing? For folks who don't know, your mom has been battling cancer. Hopefully, she's doing okay.
Yeah, she's doing better. She is. We're still trucking along. She has the breast cancer under control. She still has to deal with the multiple myeloma, but from where we were to where we are, I'm happy, but it's still very scary. It's still,
of course,
it's tricky, It's.
Is she still at the hospital or she's home?
No, she's home. She still has chemo. She does it with a smile, So, but that she had a mastectomy when we were dealing with it last time, so she just recovered from that. And June 9th. Wow, when is that? Like this week, Friday?
Yeah.
I think, right?
Okay, awesome. Thank you for I would
Friday, yeah.
I had a alarm on my phone, but June 9th, she has her mammogram in Moffitt in Tampa, and that's what it has me, a little, so I'm just trying to say prayers for my mom, make sure everything is good, so where we're at this Friday.
Well, we're sending all positivity.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, definitely.
Yeah, you can just take it as it comes. There's not. It's unfortunate. That's the only thing you can do. But it's as good as it can be at this point. So I guess that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And she's here.
She has great things to look forward to, like watching her son fight and all this.
True.
Like, I'm sure you bring her a lot of joy.
Oh, she's my son's a big time boxer all on TV.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So she's pumped. So
you're in the Gleaner at home, right?
Word. And she doesn't like and it was cool for me the last fight in Orlando, because I've been fighting in the Apex like 4 times in a row. So it was cool for my father and my mother to see, like, I didn't want her there so she was home, but he doesn't understand like the magnitude of what I do, So
yeah.
When I walk in, yo, I pop it out, like, and he's like freaking out when he's at the he see me on the jumbotron, so it's like a big deal. So it's a good feeling when they get to see me out there, competing.
For sure.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Wow, he's drink a head stripe and a patty and cocoa bread and watch that. Wow.
I know Renato is imagining like Shaggy as your dad or something like
that. No.
Yo, my dad is the most Jamaican human being on earth. And like I say that all the time, then I post a picture and he doesn't wear clothing unless it has a Jamaican flag in
yellow, green, or yellow or
it's
black.
bad.
Or,
It's really bad. And
I know what you're talking about.
Everybody bad. He wears
You know what he remind me of?
shirt with holes in it. It's bad.
You know who's like that?
Who?
Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Like in New York, the Puerto Ricans, the OGs always got like some Puerto Rican shit on, you know?
Yeah.
Or like the beads, the thing with the beads, that's the Puerto Rican flag.
My
You know?
dad like shops on Flatbush in Jamaica Ave. Like that's where he gets
Totally.
all his clothes.
Yeah.
You know?
He used to go to the Albee Square Mall and shit like that.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Does
Oh
his
my
car
goodness.
have one of those bead things too when he's sitting on
Yeah.
the driver's seat?
Of
You know the
course.
thing a lot of the
Of course.
drivers.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
And
Do he
everything.
drive a gypsy cab or no? Oh,
No,
caralho.
truck, but it's Jamaicaed out everywhere. It's hilarious.
Hey,
But he's
I tell you
he's
what.
got the thing hanging from the mirror.
Of
He's definitely
course,
got like
Of course. He got the dog
We
with the Jamaican flags on him, like everything.
Yeah.
Bad. It's
My
very,
mom
very-
does too, though. My mom's
Yeah.
got Jamaican flags everywhere.
Yeah, you got to keep home with you here. You know, when you can attest to this, out in LA, you never meet Jamaicans, you know, you never meet Puerto Rican, you never meet people from the islands really
Really?
here at
No,
all.
not a lot. Actually,
Yeah.
you're right.
The second you touch down in New York, you can
Oh.
hear the fucking PA, you can hear the Jamaican ladies like saying shit over the thing, and you're like,
Everybody
oh,
can dance better. And
you're like, I'm
everything.
back, you know what I
Wait,
mean?
Renato, so you
Yeah.
lived in LA for a while?
So oh God, are you? Oh, you went away for a second there, Cameron.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, when I first moved from Brazil, I lived in New York, okay, for a long time, and then I moved in the early 2000 to LA. So I've been here for a long time, but I didn't know they didn't have Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Haitian
They
anything
don't?
from anything. Well, if you meet, of course they have them, but it's like to meet somebody from Tahiti or something like that.
It's
It's like
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah,
because I lived in New York for 7 years too.
yeah,
And like when I moved here to LA, yeah, it felt totally different. I was so much more
yeah.
used to running into every kind of person in New York. And then here, people were like, "Oh, by the way, did you know that the Mexicans don't like black people?" And I was like, "No, actually,
What?
I didn't
That's-
know that."
Well,
Because
this
it's not true. That's
For
why
me,
I didn't
Cali-
know.
Cali was like Japan. I only saw it in the school book. You know, I'm from
yeah,
New York. I'm not going to, how am I getting to California? I've been, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so it was like, you know what I mean? I've been there twice. I went there for Worlds and I went there for the Jiu-Jitsu Expo.
Yeah.
Other
So
than
you
that,
went to the pyramid. You went for the
Yeah,
worlds at the
pyramid down in
pyramid. Yeah,
Long Beach or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
then I went to the Jiu-Jitsu Expo in Irvine, California.
Yeah, Irvine. Yeah,
And-
I
but
know
I-
that one too.
Irvine.
But other than that,
Irvine.
like California, and I'm 32 and I've been traveling now. I have to tap in over there, but it's kind of crazy over there. But I've never really experienced a coach. I've never really been over
Yeah,
there.
but not to say, listen, there's a whole lot of culture. It's just not island culture. It's a lot of Central American culture. You know, it's Mexican and Central American. So there's a lot of shit you might not have experienced in New York. Not saying that there's not good shit. It's
By
just
the way,
different.
Hey, shout out.
My
to-
mom is watching. So
Oh, Marlene, Maybelline, how you
Hey,
doing,
Mom.
baby?
Hey, Mom. Hey,
Marlene, it's
Bryant.
Marlene. Yeah.
Marlene.
What's crazy to me growing up in New York, so it's like it's Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, right? So you call someone Mexican, you better hear to fight.
Oh, of course.
So-
Even
And
yeah,
I went to the Jiu-Jitsu Expo, and I went to Arizona a couple times. So just how I am normally, if I see someone that I'm like, oh, so you're Puerto Rican? I'm not fucking Puerto Rican. I'm Mexican. I'm like, oh, no one's ever said that to me. That's on the West Coast.
oh, you never seen the other side of that.
that's
Yeah,
crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So I ain't Puerto Rican. I'm Mexican. I'm like, oh, my bad, bro. My
yeah,
bad. New York is the opposite. Like you call someone a Mexican, like, I ain't no fucking. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
Dominican.
This,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell because Puerto Ricans and Dominicans look like like mixed black people, and then the ones who is from like Central America and stuff, they look more like Native American. You know, they have like the Aztec features and stuff like that. So for me, it's easy to tell. Like no one ever confused me for Mexican or Central American. They confuse me for anything that have any kind of any island shit or maybe some kind of Ahab.
Yo, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
same
The
here. I
ugliest
get
human
island and
beings
Arab.
I've ever seen
Exactly.
in my life.
Yeah.
I was when Tanquino was in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
I saw some humans out there. I don't know what they were, Spanish, Indian people. There were some weird looking motherfuckers.
Well, it's just different. You're not used to seeing that.
That shit is crazy over here.
Yeah.
I was
They look indigenous.
They look crazy to me. I've never seen
Oh,
them.
caralho.
Hey, so
You're gonna
listen,
get,
Phil, you
yeah.
you talk about going to the jujitsu worlds and all this stuff. So, how much time do you spend in a gi or doing no gi jits? Like, how much, if you do come to LA, obviously you and Renato could train together. I know Cabrina really
This is
well. Like, how
true.
much time do you spend
Oh,
doing jujitsu?
Cohibrinia.
So you got to think like uh, I would say I train jujitsu about 5 days a week. I'm in the gi twice. So and that's a lot for a fighter, And
Yeah,
there's a lot of fighters in the UFC that got black belts that couldn't show you two sleeps off their back,
True.
and they're black belts in the gi. I don't know how the hell they are. They couldn't
yeah,
show
Wow.
you a sweep off their back. They couldn't show you a submission off their back. So I think jujitsu now and MMA, it's kind of bothersome to me how watered down it is. I see some of the guys
Mm.
black belts, and I don't think they should. I don't think it. Yeah, you're a great MMA fighter, but you're not a gi jiu-jitsu
It's
practitioner.
a different stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and you guys know there's so many fucking fighters that get black belts in the cage,
Yep.
but look, man, my gym you hear it all the time. I train the best gym in the world. And I'm explaining to you why I have the best gym in the world. Point
Tell
blank,
them what it is.
I'm going to tell you right now. So
Okay.
I train at Fusion Excel under Julian Williams, right?
Mhm.
So my gym has about 8 UFC fighters that started at that gym. I
Ah.
got that gym. I had 0 wins and 2 losses. When people don't get to the UFC like me, right? People don't get to the UFC with a losing record. I wasn't
Yeah.
really winning amateur fights. I was 9-4.
Mm.
I wasn't like that. I didn't have sponsors and all the
Mhm.
stuff on you know what I mean? Like I was just, no one believed that I was going to do it. So when I tell people like, look, this is the system. I didn't wrestle growing up. I came to this guy at 21 years old, 0 wins, 2 losses, excuse me, at 24 years old. I got on a 7-fight win streak, knocked out everybody in front of me, knocked out number 1 guy in the country at the time, got in the UFC. I'm like, this is the proof, right? I didn't get here as a wrestler, All-American. I didn't get here as all this. I learned this here. 2 arguably of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners to fight. Arguably, they're in that argument.
Yeah.
Jacare Souza,
Well, oh,
this guy, Jacare
Jacare.
Souza, and Rodolfo Vieira. They
Yeah.
both train in our gym.
okay, fair enough.
And there's a reason that they train in our gym.
Mm.
It's the grappling pedigree of my coach. You don't have between both of them 11 world titles in jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
and they can train anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the
Sure.
world is going to take Jacare Souza. Is going to
Sure.
take Adolfo Vieira. Why are they training with Julian Williams? It's because he got the proofs in the pudding. No matter what you
Yeah.
say about Phil, look, I grappled Gordon Ryan. I grappled Cody Steele. I grappled Jonathan. I'm one out of 2 active UFC fighters that are taking these type of matches, that are getting these
Sure.
type of names. So I know my gym has the recipe. I know I have the recipe. I
Mm.
can show you 5 clips on this phone that I go super viral, and I would never do that, But
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
over time, they'll see. One at a time, they'll see. I train the best gym in the world. I got the best athletes. We got the best trainers, and we got the best technique. And they'll see. The proof's in the pudding. I got there with a losing record. I've lost 1 fight in the past 7 years, and we're gonna
Yeah, I
keep going.
saw that. I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, wow, you got off to a hockey start, and then after that, boom, it's like sky's the limit. So now you answered a question I was gonna ask you
I'm
anyway.
just a vessel, man. I'm just a vessel. I listen to my coach. I listen
Yeah.
to Julian Williams. He changed my life. He actually, fun fact, he was roommates with Rashad Evans in college.
Oh, Hashad.
Oh,
They're really
shit,
good.
good. That's my
So
homie.
Rashad, they're both Spartans. My coach ran track. He was a 4-time All-American, triple jump, and Rashad was wrestling.
Yeah.
And they're really, really good friends. They've always been good friends. And my coach didn't start martial arts till he was 26.
No shit.
He's
Wow.
12-1. He's probably
Wow.
the best grappler you've ever felt. And people assume he wrestled, right?
That's that light skinned black guy I saw?
Yeah. People
Oh,
think
caralho.
but he didn't wrestle. He learned it all through MMA. And
No shit.
and he's been training since 2006, but
Mm.
12-1. Went to I forget that promotion in Brazil or in Russia.
M1.
Or M1. He went to M1, beat their.
I call that Magalesh one. Oh, caralho. There's a yeah. Let's not bring that up.
But he's a good dude. But
You're on the hung. Yeah, that's falling on deaf ear here. Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
Vinny's a
Well,
good
I do have
I know, but he's a good dude.
I don't want to talk about that.
no,
Vinny's a good dude.
I do have to ask Phil, and I only have to ask because it can't. I gotta hold you accountable.
Hold
You
me
gotta
accountable.
make weight. So there's been a
Damn
couple
right.
times that you missed weight,
Yep.
and you know that we got to fix that, right? What are we
Yes.
Well,
gonna
why
do to
did
fix
you
that?
thought of that when we brought up Vinny, though? You understand?
No,
It's a
it wasn't when
correlation.
you did. No, it wasn't
When you
when you
think
brought
of an
it up.
obese pig,
It wasn't when
first
you
we
brought up
talked
Vinny.
about Puerto Ricans, then we talk about pigs.
It wasn't
Fat
that. It was
pig,
that when you were just talking about your
and
record
he's
in
Don't do
both
that.
of
UFC,
that.
Don't
which
do that.
is impressive and which is admirable. But there have been a couple misses, so we got to fix
You're
that
damn right.
because
And
I'm not. You got to fix that.
I take it. Look, 100%. The word that changed my life is accountability, right? I miss
Mm.
weight, no one's fault but my own. And the funny thing to me in fighting is when you miss weight, right? People say, "Man, this must have went wrong, and this must."
Mm.
There is nothing natural about making weight, right?
Right.
True,
So like,
true.
it's funny to me. I listen to the commentators, like I listen to DC and these guys. You'll miss weight, you'll miss weight by point 0.5, right? And then they'll talk about how bad of a camp you had and how you must have.
Oh yeah,
You could be in the best shape of your life. Cutting
yeah.
weight 24 pounds, 24 hours before a fight is not conducive to health. That's not
I agree.
so.
I
But
think it's the dumbest shit on earth, to be honest.
dumbest. So
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick on how I missed weight both times. The first time I missed weight with Orion Kasi, I missed weight by 0.5. I got on the scale, I was 1.5 over.
Uh-huh.
So when I was at the PI, I had about maybe an hour before check-in, and I had like 0.5 to go. Couldn't get it off in the sauna. Couldn't do it. Dean's like, Phil, man, you got to go now. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. I called my manager. I said, hey, what is the threshold from 20% to 30%? He goes, Phil, 174. Cool, I'm about to drink. He goes, drink. Only because the pay is the same. I would have lost 20% either way, right?
Right.
Unless I was 174 point, or
Yes.
Oh,
unless
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
get to that the next pound, it's 30%.
Then it's
So I
30%.
said,
Right.
what is my I said, hey, I'm missing weight. I'm 0.5 over. I have 30 minutes to get to we're at the PI, the Apex.
So
I said, I have 30 minutes to get over there. I'm 0.5 over. What's the threshold to 30%? He goes, Phil, you have about 2 pounds. I said, okay, I'm going to drink. He goes, okay, cool. So I drank and I got there and I was felt comfortable. I weighed at 171.5. So I drank 16 ounces from the PI to over there. And when I got there, I was drinking. They're like, I said, hey, I missed weight. It is what it is. Like, what am I going to do at this point? Kill myself, shoot myself? I missed weight.
You
So then
gotta.
when I got on the scale, you see in the comments, oh, this guy, blah, blah, blah. I could have got on the scale at 171.5 and made it look good for the fans. But I just drank a pound. I lost. I missed. I lost that portion of my pay because
right.
of an error on my fault. I didn't have a bad weight cut. It was my fault. I held myself accountable. Done deal. Next fight, I made weight, no problem. Next fight, Orlando versus Nico. Everything's good to go. I'm home. I have a sauna. Matter of fact, let me show you something.
Oh, why you
Sorry,
gotta hub
excuse
it
my
in? Why you gotta hub it in? You got a sauna?
I got a theater in my house. I'm living a life over here. Right?
You're living too good,
It
Porha.
sounds
I gotta
pretty
take
great.
someone. I gotta take you down to back to the street.
I work for this, man. I got a sauna. I got a jacuzzi. Everything's good. I didn't stay at the fighter hotel, right?
Oh.
Fast forward, it's like about 20 minutes from here. We're weigh-ins. Dean again, and the UFC, they know how I am. They always give me false times. Granted, I've earned that. They say, Phil, we're starting at
Oh, I
11.
So
see.
you're on Brazilian time like Renato. He knows the
Okay.
show
You're on
starts
Jamaican
at 7. He
time.
shows up at
Look,
about 10
look,
past.
The
Arnetta,
lazy lima bean.
shout out to Arnetta.
Island time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Heidi. Look, I love all of them, but
Heidi's my girl. That's my
I have
road
a
dog.
track record, and I understand. So they always say, hey, Phil, you got to be here at this time. So Dean messaged me, says, Phil, we need you here at 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm home. What I thought they were doing to me was this. Because I wasn't staying at the fighter hotel and I was at home, I thought they were like, Phil's going to be late. Get him here an hour early.
Right.
They call me. He goes, Phil, where are you at? I said, oh, I'm like 10 minutes away. He's like, we started weigh-ins already. I was like, yeah, I'm 10 minutes away. I wasn't. I was home.
Oh,
Error. So Julian, my coach, who is a prude, who's a awesome guy, but he is not like me at all. He is by the book.
yeah.
We're in my jacuzzi cutting weight. Fine. There's no issue. I'm not having trouble. I'm sweating leisurely, cutting weight. I said, Julian, if we leave now, I am not on weight. I need to finish making weight. I said, let's just make weight and show up late. What are they going to do? Dean calls me back. Phil, if you're not here and at 11 o'clock, you're
Right.
scratched.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you got to get there on time. It's done. 9 to 11. That's it.
In my defense, what are they going to do? They're going to cancel my fight and bring someone else in 10 hours to fight Nico and pay it. No, they're not. They're going to let me get on the scale and let me, you know what I mean? So I'm telling Julian, I said, bro, let's just make weight now. I need 30 more minutes. We'll get there 11:30. I'll be good. He's like, no, Phil, we got to go. We got to go. So we load up my car. We put the windows up. I got the sweet sweat on.
Right.
I'm spitting. I lose about another 0.5. I don't make weight. Once again, not my coach's fault, not my nutritionist's fault. I had my nutritionist out here from LA. It was perfect. I was losing weight. Everything was awesome. Error on my fault. Should I have got up when my coach said at 5 a.m., make the weight then? Yes. So no one's at fault but mine. I lost 11 grand because of that. And so I'm learning.
So you learned your lesson.
You don't have a Jamaican nutritionist, do you?
Oh, no. Pepper wings. You don't have a Dominican like Rob Fonch.
Yeah, you're on an oxtails diet. Listen, you can't request extra gravy on the rice and all that bullshit. And you gotta have your patty without the cocoa bread. Come on, my brother. No ching. You have to have water.
Cocoa bread.
But you know, Hub Funk got the same fucking problem. This fucking guy is telling us, he go, yeah, I got my girlfriend is cooking for me. She's cooking up.
Hey.
Well, yeah, we had lemon pepper wings. We had, cobbler. We had fried plantain. I'm like, what the fuck? I go, you can't eat that shit and he goes, nah, and she made me a watermelon shake, and I'm like, how the fuck? And then lo and behold, this fucking guy missed wage. And I go, how you gonna have your Dominican girlfriend is your chef, huh?
When did he miss weight?
This was 2 fights ago. But it was just funny because I was giving him problems because I said, listen, you gotta cut out the lemon pepper wing, caralho.
In hindsight, we know now that there were things going on, and it was like his wife was pregnant, and there was
lemon pepper wings was going on.
In hindsight, but it is funny because I do remember the lemon pepper wings, and both of us were like, that doesn't sound.
Yeah, this motherfucker. That's ghetto shit. That's ghetto because it have the word lemon in it. He think he's healthy. He goes, she making me lemon pepper wings. Not for nothing, Papa. She made me lemon pepper wings for her. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, I'm like,
what I ate during weight cuts, you would laugh. But I eat like sweet potato pie and chicken breast.
See, this seems like the same fucking shit.
But it's the same thing.
We wonder why we don't make weight. You can't eat sweet potato pie.
They say
bean pie, my brother.
Nah, man. I get chicken thighs, sweet potato pie. Keep it.
Listen, you need to eat like the fucking Rastafarians. You need to eat. You need to kalaloo. You need fish and bami.
Right. There we go.
Fresh spring water. You need to pray to Selassie. I
have a white wife from West Virginia. She's not making none of that.
She's making you. You know what she's making you?
Pepperoni rolls.
Wait, your wife's Jamaican? Wait, is your wife Jamaican? White girl? What do you have?
No, she's
in the world.
She's a white woman,
Virginia. Parker, West Virginia.
She's an attractive white woman.
Wait,
I bet you.
A white girl from Virginia?
From
yeah.
My dad was from Virginia. That's so weird. My Jamaican mom married a guy from Virginia. This is so weird.
Your dad's a white guy?
He was half white and half black.
Okay. Yeah, no, my I want to say there is 98% white where she's from, and there's like 0.7% other, and they're not black people. They're like Asian.
They're like the hills have eyes.
There's like
that's the other part. They're like, if you get off my property. Wait. So she make you green bean casserole.
Oh yeah.
She make Nilla wafers pie or whatever.
Salad.
Yeah, ambrosia salad.
I had meatloaf. And I actually I like it a lot.
Yeah, of course you like that
Phil,
one.
I was married to a white guy for 20 years. I'm not anymore. Newsflash, I'm divorced for all of you hot men out there.
Why you hitting on
But
this Jamaican young blood here?
no, I'm just saying,
I'm
but I
kidding. I'm
know
kidding.
I know from white food, like he was a Midwestern white guy. And so like I know like
So
Renato, you're joking,
coleslaw.
but like legit, that's all the stuff that was at the
Well,
barbecue.
coleslaw with Hazen's.
But what's
Uh,
crazy
uh.
is I got my mother-in-law to make oxtail last week.
Oh, caralho.
It was good. It was good. She made oxtail. She made it in the crock pot.
Nice.
Wow.
It wasn't the typical 3-hour slow cook that my mom does, but it was good. It was good.
Nice.
I'd rather that than the pepperoni rolls, you know.
I bet you they know how to throw down with some kind of shit. I mean, they probably do.
No, like her mother, they're very smart, like ridiculously smart. So anything that takes direction, they're gonna kill. So if my wife looks at like a recipe, it's gonna be by the book. So she can read her Jamaican recipe book. She'll make whatever. You know, she's a dentist.
So wait, so it's not like your boy Sage Northcotch.
Oh my god.
We was talking. So we had him on, and we was talking
weeks
about how
ago.
he used to train for a while with Chiron Woodley,
Yeah.
and there was a thing where he had never had seasoning on chicken or whatever,
What?
and it was like a stereotype, like a meme, and he goes like this. He goes, "Well, yeah, sir. We went to the barbecue and he seasoned both sides.
Both sides.
He put the chicken breast, he seasoned both sides."
That's funny.
We're saying like clutch my pearls, both sides of the chicken, you know.
It was like he talked like. Did you used to watch In Living Color? They used to do a thing called the Brothers,
Yes.
where he's like, Flavor Flav. He goes, Flavor Flav. What's his son's name? Tasto. You hear me?
That's awesome. That's funny.
But I'm telling you, it's funny that the culture differences is crazy.
Oh,
you know?
it is funny. It is funny. And
But it's
like,
fun.
So that's what I'm saying. I know. I've been there, and I've been there where I'm like, where like I've been told, you know, certain foods they're like, oh, this is the bomb. You know, like my so and so makes the bomb, such and such. And then I get there, I was like, this is the whitest
Wait
food I've
till
ever
you
had.
find
And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, what am I doing? And then
Wait till you try my mom's hot dogs.
Wait till you
and then like my and so
beef
like
cat.
it was education in spices. Let's just say that there was
That's
a
awesome.
20-year education in spices, and then I'm like, you guys, God be with you, peace be with you. Now it's not in my hands.
But let's not. There's some cultures of white people in the South and stuff who can throw down with the fucking
100%.
fried
I'm just
chicken
saying
and
the
the
ones that
hibs and all that shit.
didn't
Yeah.
specialize in spicy
You
cooking.
go to Louisiana, those fucking white people
For
know how
sure.
to cook some seasoned up
For
shit.
For sure.
Sure.
I'm not trying to make a blanket statement here. I'm
No,
speaking
you
from a very-
racist against white people. White people out there, help me. Help. Send money.
Canceled. Cancel.
What happened here?
No, I'm
He
here.
became even blacker
Yeah.
to counteract the white stuff.
I want to see if there's any questions for you guys, or from. So yes. Your wife's a dentist, you said.
Yeah, Dr. Rowe. That's Dr. Rowe.
That's
Dr.
awesome.
Hall.
Right, look at that.
Yeah, look at those chiclets in there. What I like is that she didn't put fake chompers, and I hate when people get those veneers and they look
He's
like a
no
ventriloquist
wonder he
doll.
has such beautiful chompers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a quick little dental lesson for you guys. So a lot of people think just because this dentist online is popular that they are the best dental practitioner around, which they aren't, you know. So like in the medical world, when a lot of these like famous cosmetic dentists, like they're just laughed at, you know. So like but I have minimum prep feldspathic veneers. They literally individually made each one of my teeth for my face. Everyone. She's like, no, I don't like it like that. Let's fix it.
Oh, see, I wouldn't have guessed that you have veneer.
Oh,
No, they look great.
They look like normal teeth.
They look like fucking teeth. Even that hot chick. What's that hot chick from Modern Family? She's like a Chan.
What chick?
I don't know.
The Latina chick from Modern Family. The fucking hot.
Yeah.
The big
She's on
chitties and
AGT now. She's a judge on AGT. Sophia
anyway,
Vergara.
you know this
Sophia
chick.
Vergara.
Yeah,
Sophia Vergara.
Oh,
She can't be more beautiful. She got the veneers done. It looks like Howdy Doody. Her teeth look like Martin Downey Jr. for her.
people, they're just not educated. So like you'll see so many celebrities that got big chiclets.
Yep.
Terrible. They go to Colombia,
Yep.
And
That shit looks terrible.
Well, these
Yeah.
are my real teeth, but I know what
Wow.
you're
Yeah,
talking
well,
about.
Karayu, we didn't, nobody was questioning that.
I know, yeah, no, but I know it's
No, I'm
weird,
kidding,
and I
I'm
see
kidding.
people with that, and there's somebody. Well, never mind. I don't
you got
want.
nice
Never mind.
teeth. It's awesome.
But sometimes you see people on TV, and then they also have like a slight, like a whistle or something that comes with it because their teeth are too big.
The denture.
Yeah. You're supposed
Yeah,
to.
and they
They're
talk
both.
like that. They talk like the child molester on fucking American Fam. No, on what's the fucking
Family
Family
Guy or
Guy?
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I
Oh,
want you know that one who's like, get your fat ass over here.
that's
Get
pretty
your
good.
fat ass over here.
Phil, what do you do for fun when you're not fighting and stuff? I mean, what are
I
your
make
other interests?
I make music. I make music. I play video games. I've been making music
Like
for
old West Virginia honky chunk music, like
yeah.
your girlfriend.
I make the best. Once again, you can't find somebody in the UFC that makes better music than me. You can't.
No shit.
It's
Do you
hard.
rap?
pressed.
What do you do? What's
You
the
guys,
vibe?
you guys were playing my song on the. That's my song.
Oh, I did put it on that. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So like but yeah, I've been making music for a long time. My cousin is probably the most talented human being on earth. So now I just use my platform, my little buzz to try to show the world him. And the bigger I
What's your
go,
cousin's name?
Paul Brown, 5 the Fresh.
And that's how you can find him on social media.
Yeah, so if you look, he is on that song with me.
Right.
So
So how can they look for him?
Yeah. So the
So
song that I
that-
used on Instagram in the reel to promote this episode is the song we're talking about. That's by you and your brother.
yes, that boy 5 is his Instagram. That boy 5. Shout out to Paul Brown. He's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm making a little EP now. You know, it's just me taking my time. It's gonna be produced by Static Selecta. And
Oh,
come on,
I
man.
like that. I like some
You know
Static
how I
Selecta.
do it, Renato. Come on,
Not too shabby, my brother. Not too shabby.
I'm tapped in. You know, so
Wow.
Nice.
it's different. It's different with me. You know, it's different with me, man. So I'm taking my time, making sure it's gonna be done right.
Well, you know, hey, listen. All you had to say is that's like a that's good taste to have somebody like that.
Oh.
That's not the average.
That's the OG right there. You know, so
Well,
Yeah.
and hey, listen, Renato, I don't want to make you jealous, but our buddy Psycho Les reached out to me the other day and was like, "Yo, KB, I want to send you some gear." You know what I mean?
Never
So
mind that. Psycho Lesser comments on all my stuff anyway, so don't
Yeah,
worry
you're
about
welcome
that.
for that introduction.
and you
Oh,
are
God.
the only other Instagram that posts classic
Yeah, Renato, you do post good
music,
stuff.
cultural hits. And,
Well, it's the stuffs I like, you know,
but it'll go by. It'll
Yeah.
go like, and I'm like, nobody see what this is epic, and I'll comment.
and it get like 15 likes and shit.
They
Yeah,
just, you know, they just don't know. You know,
I try to put them up on the stuffs, you know.
They
And you know what's funny is so I chose, because you originally from Brooklyn, I chose Big Daddy Kane because that's one of my favorite Brooklyn rappers, you know.
Yep.
And that one, it fit the picture for me because the picture had a lot of energy, the one that she chose.
Yeah.
So I wanted one of those fast ones, you know. So I chose Warm It Up Kane. But the funny fucking thing is, of all these years, because of your Instagram handle, it was jammed in my head. Even though your name is Phil, it says Philly. So I get this misconception that you're from Philly somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone,
Yeah.
mad, and I'm gonna tell you why. So my mother, my name is Philip. My dad's name is Philip. I'm her Philly. She calls me Philly. That's simple. And I'm fresh. So I run with it, you know, and everybody calls me Philly.
No doubt.
But then you immediately your brain goes to Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and then you go Philly, and then it doubles down on the Philly
Yeah,
thing. And
so
I same thing.
It
And
was in my
initially I was like,
subconscious.
okay, cool. When I make the ad, I'll probably do like a Philly thing, and I'll have a
Yeah.
Philadelphia. And then I was like, wait, no.
Yeah. So
Everyone
my
does.
dumb ass, I was going through. I sit here and I really think about before I post something for like one of these things for somebody. I really try to make it specific to them. I'm sitting here thinking, do I do Freeway or now? I'm gonna keep it classic. I'm gonna put maybe the Hoots now. I'm gonna
Nah.
do Schoolie D, and then so I'm going between these two Schoolie D songs. I go no, and I'm even finding the parts. I'm going through the whole fucking song, And then I go, you know what? Just to make sure, I go to your bio. It says Brooklyn, and it's more fun. It's more fun for me to do a Brooklyn anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sitting here trying to do this specific shit, and then I go, you fucking dummy! You spent like a fucking hour and a half searching through Philly fucking
Dude,
stuff.
But look,
Anyway,
I was just impressed that you know off the top you're able to say, you know what I mean, the Roots, Freeway. You know what I mean? That's dope.
hey, I'm a hip hop head.
That's
I don't know
well,
what else to
also,
say.
Q-Tip just had the whole picnic the other day. You know what I mean? Like they do their whole thing there. So
No,
um
I didn't know about the
yeah,
picnic.
no,
What
they
happened
have
here?
they do like the whole like Roots like weekend barbecue thing or whatever. They just had it and
Oh,
yeah.
and Q-Tip is in cahoots with them.
Wait, not Tip. I'm sorry. I meant Questlove. I meant
Oh,
Questlove.
oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah. Sorry,
okay,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not Tip, not
Okay,
Tip. I knew it was a Q. Sorry, that's just my
I
brain.
got you. I
Sorry.
got you. Yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry, sorry. My
yeah.
bad. My bad on that. But yeah, no, it's funny because same thing, Hanato, with you and the songs that we post, and same thing. So I went, Phil, and I looked up like, hey, what does Phil use for his ring walks? And that's why I
Yeah.
used your song on the ad. But same thing, like, yeah, when I'm making the ads for these, I want to do something that has a theme with you. And then I'm not gonna lie, the more I looked at the one I made for your ad, I was like, I really like this. And part of it is just that picture you had was cool anyway. But I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like fun. You do have a lot of energy, and I hope that people like. I hope you get to express yourself more. And
Yeah,
like when you
the
win, you
UFC
get on
is
the mic or
dropping
whatever.
the
But like, I
ball.
do feel like maybe you're an untapped
They're
source
dropping
here. Like
the
you're
ball.
cooler than people know.
Karyn, I'm not just saying this. I am the most charismatic, the funniest, the smoothest. Like I'm not. I don't have much of a platform, so when I get on these, I'm just talking a little bit. Like people watch me and they do what I do. Have you peeped people wearing jumpers lately? Have you peeped these guys wearing? I don't want to say names.
Yeah.
Wearing jumpers.
What you classify as a jumper?
Overalls.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've been with
So
the
you're talking Gilbert Burns bit your
been with,
style?
shout out to Gilbert Burns, my guy. I've been rocking these, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been doing. I just went out the other day. I had his cross color outfit on.
I used to wear those when I worked at
Yeah.
MTV. We had a deal in cross colors. I had all their stuff.
These cats, they wear the shoes from the kit that the UFC gives us out. You know what I mean? They're not. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know why the UFC drops the ball with me. It's different if I wasn't in the UFC. I'm here. You know, like
Yeah.
just all you got to do is just give me a little buzz and watch what happens. When I fought the first guy, he had 2 static posts that week before we even fought. It was his UFC debut. I'm like, why are you? He had a twin brother in the UFC. Big deal. I don't care. They look the same. Whatever. That you know what I mean? 2 static posts. That's a big deal. A static post on the UFC page before you fight. I don't get that. Karyn, because I'm here, because I got a little platform. I'm in Orlando. I live in Orlando. The UFC is in Orlando. They invite me to the basketball game. Shout out to Jennifer Wink. I love her. She is on my team. She believes in me from day one. She knows where we're going. But anyway, they bring me to the basketball game. They bring Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's a bigger name.
You said Kevin Love. You almost said Kevin Love.
I almost did. They bring us to the game, right? I'm sitting a little further back. He's there. They bring Kevin Holland down. He shoots the ball over the basketball hoop, whatever. What happens if you bring Phil in the court? I throw myself an alley-oop. I dunk the ball. People go crazy.
Oh, shit.
Ready? I'm from Orlando. I'm living in Orlando.
Yeah.
You have to roll the dice with me. There's no other Orlando fighter on the card. Just give me a little buzz. I go out there, Karyn. The whole Orlando Magics, they are there. After I knocked out Nico, Jalen Suggs, shout out to Jalen Suggs, my homie. They all hit me up. So many Magic players. Yo, man, I didn't know you were fighting. I didn't know you're from Orlando.
Wow.
Dummies. You guys drop.
Wow.
All you had to do was tap in. Phil's from Orlando. Orlando Magic could have shown me love. That's
Yeah.
The UFC. They just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But you have to. You got to give me the ball in Orlando. I'm in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't.
And plus, they got the Hookie of the Year there. They can get you guys. You know, they got Paulo Banchero.
Literally, I have like 5 Magic players that are my buddies now that I hang out with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, they're like, they didn't know I was fighting. No one knew I'm from Orlando. All they had to do
Right.
was just give me 2 days of, yo, this guy's from Orlando. You show
Yeah, and then that would have hyped it up.
That's
So are they
it.
going to roll up? Are they rolling through up to Jacksonville then? That's only 2 hours away.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
But you know what, Phil? Phil, you know, I understand what you're saying,
It's
but
frustrating.
every fucking
Dude, how
dog has his
frustrated- well, I
day.
don't want to get it. We all get frustrated. Believe me. Like there's a lot
Yeah,
of us that are
just
under
keep you
whatever.
on you doing your part and you on the high track. I'll just use this as an example. I was just thinking about this. I was thinking about how famous Israel Adesanya is. Okay, for years he used to follow me. I did not know who the fuck he was. I didn't even know he was a heel fighter. I thought maybe he was a guy that just trained at a gym or
Wait,
whatever.
who?
It's Israel
Oh,
Adesanya.
okay, yeah.
Okay, years and years he was following. I seen him, he comment on stuff or whatever. Then in the past this much time, this guy has become like a list fucking celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was paying attention to this fucking guy. He was a great fighter all this time. You know what I'm saying? And then at a certain point he popped and it was just boom, you know. But I mean, he's been at it this long, and in this he's been famous this amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like there was just a point. Now I can't even fucking. I can hit that guy in the DM, and it take him 2 weeks to get back to me.
I
You
know.
know, before it used to be a treat for him.
So
My
you're
uncle
just saying
Renato.
his time is coming, right? It's
I'm just
building.
saying, even
No,
a fucking guy like that, he was toiling away. Nobody gave a shit about
Yeah.
him. Nobody gave two shits about him, and he was waiting in the shadows. Now this fucking guy is like he could go to any A-list party in Hollywood and
Yeah.
people is gonna be freaking out over him.
Well, the cool
Right.
thing is like if you do have all this other stuff, you got the music and you got the clothes and all this other stuff, like that's what I'm saying. When you have the opportunity, you know, be it fight week in Jacksonville or if you get the win and you're on the mic or whatever, like, yeah, let it shine because
Oh, it's over.
you have
It's
that
over.
Yeah.
opportunity and,
It's
you know,
over.
you're going to
And
have all
it's
that
organic.
media during media, you know, fight week and stuff. Like, yeah, take
Karyn,
advantage.
Karyn, these guys are weenies in the UFC. This is it's easy. They're nerds. They're all nerds. I don't care if they can fight. They're nerds. They can't dress well. They don't
Yeah.
speak well. They're not funny. They're
Yeah.
just nerds. It's easy. And I'm like, they like to push the foreign guys, but it is what it is. You know, like I'm here now. I get a little frustrated because I'm actively fighting.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, what I got to do? I'm knocking people out. Like, just show me a little bit of, give
It's
me a
coming.
little bit of the love. But I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
being organic. It's not. I'm the source. You know, so it's not hard for me to be Phil. You know, as long as
Well,
I'm
Yeah.
myself, it'll shine through. I'm sure it will.
it will. And to your point, though, that's exactly what Kevin Holland did and exactly why Kevin Holland
Yeah.
got the mic. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he
Sure.
took it and he
Listen,
made something with it and he made people pay attention. So,
For sure.
yeah.
Shout out to
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Just keep fucking building. They will fucking come. They come late sometime. They come
Dude.
late.
And we were saying this about our show even here at the beginning. Like people see it and they're like, oh my God, it's hilarious. This is like the best podcast. And you guys do stuff that other people don't do. And it's so funny. And it's so this and so that. How come that like the whole world isn't watching you? And it's like, yeah, I know. How come the whole world isn't watching this? Because they just don't know yet. They're slow to adopt or whatever.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know. They'll figure it out.
just based off you guys' guess and consistency. There's no. It just will. It'll happen.
Yeah, and people come when they come. You know what I mean? Like, look, you can't. You just gotta keep doing your fucking thing. That's it. That's all you can do is just be Phil, and the people that need to come is gonna come, and then you have a chipping point.
Well,
This
Johnny
man-
Morrow here talking about you grappling Gordon Ryan. So I don't remember that, and poor Gordon is going through it right now. But so you and Gordon grappled?
Yeah. So I was actually I have a bunch of rash guards now. They're throwback basketball jerseys turned into rash guards.
Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
Indiana Pacer outfit. It says "Hold Fast, Fight Gear." The NBA logo is actually a guy doing a judo throw. I had the Michael Jordan throwback Bulls. It said Philly Fresh in the back, but it's the first sleeveless rash guard in jiu-jitsu.
I like
It took a
that.
lot for us to make it.
The less sleeve, the better for me.
Exactly. So I grabbed Gordon Ryan on Who's Number One. This was his like coming out of his like little retirement slump. We went Was it 15 minutes? 15 minutes. I got subbed 3 times by him, and
Oh, caralho.
it opened up a huge door for me. I weighed in 196. He weighed in 254.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big guy. Yeah.
Massive, and he is technically the best. He's the best. So,
he's amazing. Yeah.
But not for nothing.
And all natural.
I got that match. You know what I mean? Like for a reason. I got that jiu-jitsu match. So, yeah, I mean, and it just opened up a lot of doors. He's my buddy. Shout out to him. He's killing the game. So, I'm just tapped into the jiu-jitsu world too. It's really how I got into MMA was jiu-jitsu, gi jiu-jitsu. People think I'm a boxer just because I'm naturally I move well. I can dance. So there's
a lot of similarity. Basketball translates very well to boxing.
Damn right it does.
Isn't that funny?
What's funny is this. I remember when I first got in the gym, I had no training. I played basketball my whole life. And it was sparring day. And these guys were sparring. I remember slap boxing on the block. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And so I had never sparred right-handed guy in my life. Then after, I just did okay. And then the coach was like, man, you look good, man. Did you box? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I boxed, man. He's like, where'd you box? I was like, yeah, I boxed in Brooklyn, of course. I didn't box. I didn't want to tell him I didn't do nothing.
Right.
And then I just ran with it. And then I just learned how to box. But I just told them I did, and they just believed me. I don't know, move my head, move my feet.
Well, you know what's another thing is like one of the most important things in boxing and even wrestling is like how you is your stance and how your feet is moving and you're not crossing your legs. You know what I'm saying? Like even just good basketball defense translate into how you need to move in and out. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, if you can just transplant the shit that you know from that and just put it in there, you're ahead of the game, you know.
I'm keeping it a buck, and and it is what it is. My coach all the time, Phil, be black. That's what he literally be black, man.
The rhythm, the dancing.
I know what he means by that. You know what I mean? Like
funny thing to say.
I need that swag. I need that feel. Come on.
His coach is black too, by the way.
Of course,
his coach is black though. Just so you know.
Well, yeah, no, it's funny though because when I was Shad, we call it like hot sauce. Like that was his whole thing. It was hot sauce. You know, that was like
barbecue sauce.
You're flowing. You're doing
like,
your thing. Yeah.
If it's something, if you got it or you don't, you know, like that natural bop to you. You know, like you can't put on old school R&B in here and my body just gonna automatically do this. You know, I just got a natural rhythm that I move to. So, but my coach would literally like, man, be black, man, move your feet, man, come on.
Yeah. Well, don't leave that shit behind. All the shit you already have.
I already know I'm working with Lionheart. I'm working with Lionheart.
Oh, Lionheart.
I'm gonna have to bring up this be black thing because he's gonna run with it.
Lionheart, okay.
Yeah.
Did you know Lionheart is black now or no?
He's not black, but
he's half black.
Yeah, he is. His dad is black.
What?
For real.
Is he black?
100%.
His dad is black and was like his dad was like a black G too. Yeah.
Is he really?
For real. No joke.
No, I mean, shout out. I didn't know.
No, 100%.
He is. It's crazy, but he is. Yeah.
What he was, to be honest. That's dope, though. That's dope.
Yeah.
And his mother is a white woman.
She better be. Cut on.
I think she might have been part Native American too, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not.
His wife is not American,
right? But I'm not sure. Okay. But yeah, Anthony's dad was black. Yeah. Is black.
But he said his dad looked like Fred Sanford.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah. So he is. What was that?
He doesn't have a relationship with his pops.
Not great. No.
No, his dad passed away. His dad was he was a street dude, you know.
Yeah,
but my pops looked like somebody from Sanford and Son. But you remember Harlow? It was Lamonch's best friend, the guy who's up to no good.
Of course, Rollo.
Not Harlow.
Rollo always was working something.
Yeah, Harlow. Yeah. His homeboy who was trying to make him smoke weed and stuff and steal shit or whatever.
That's who your pops looks like.
Or he also looked like, speaking of Jamaicans, he looked like Jimmy Cliff in fucking The Harder They Come.
Nice.
Whenever I see that movie, I'm like, that's my dad up there. He just looked just like my dad. Yeah.
What a song.
The same hair, the same every stuff.
That's my pops.
Oh, God, are you?
I wanted to make that. What?
Let's look. Wait, let me see that.
Wait. Look at you.
Your dad look young. God, are you?
Really young.
But you see what I mean? He has Jamaican. Look at his
Always
shirt.
wearing the colors.
It's literally a Jamaican flag, and the brand is just a Jamaican flag. Look,
But he looked like he's put together. Like
Yeah.
your dad look young,
You
caray.
got a brother.
he keeps yam and banana meat, pure yam.
Yeah. My dad looked like an old shoe shine man now, caray. Oh, porra. He looked like an old jazz musician. But I'm a little older than you anyway, so.
Yeah, my pops is good.
That's
Wow.
cool. It's cool. Hey, listen, Renato, Phil is on the East Coast, so it's later for him. I don't know if there's other stuff you want to get to, and I was looking to see if there's questions, but we should probably wrap it up with him soon because it is pretty
Well,
late on the East Coast.
one
right?
stuff I wanted to, there's two stuffs I wanted to comment about. Now, I seen you holding with somebody and sometime in some of your videos and stuff, and it looked to me like Machida, or is it a lookalike, or that's Machida?
That's Leota. Leota lives 5 minutes from me.
I love
Okay,
him.
one of my all-time favorite fighter.
Oh,
I met him once, and he was such a good dude, and his brother and I follow each other, and he's cool, Chinzo.
Chinzo?
Yeah, and but I just love those guys, the whole story, the family, all the stuff.
Yo,
Send them
Leota,
our love, please, Phil. We both love those guys.
I mean it tomorrow. I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna hit him up, and at the gym, I'm gonna let him know about this. I'm gonna give you guys show. I'm gonna tell him you guys said hi. But I was confused with 2 stories. The thing with Leota, what I love, he is so, to me, wise beyond his years. And I mean, he's a little older than me, but he talks in parables. Like he literally speaks to you in like metaphors. It's the coolest thing ever. And like he's just so wise and profound. And even if he isn't, you just believe him. Like when he speaks with so much passion. He will never give you a straight answer. He will answer you in like a story, in a parable.
And make you think about it and shit. Yeah.
That's like his Japanese dad. Probably
but he is really like that.
It's a lost arch. Yeah.
He literally lives 5 minutes from me. Like not even playing. He lives in the same community. But he is. You can just ask him a question and you're like, man, Leota, what's 5 times 5? And he's like, but first, Phil, you have to think who made numbers.
Oh shit! It's like that, yeah.
He's like,
you have to think who made numbers.
He's so
profound. But first, Phil, you have to think.
Mostly, I'm just looking.
And he has an aura about him, like such a pleasant aura that you just.
He's sweet.
He like you just do what he does. It's weird. He comes in the gym with his little suitcase, and he like puts his gear out before he trains, and it's in order. And then you're like, man, I should clean up my little area. You just kind of follow his lead. He has such a. I'm just blessed that I'm able to pick his brain as much as I can. I just borrowed him today, actually.
Wow.
And one thing that never goes away, and is his timing. Like, yes, he's not as athletic as he used to, even though he's still a specimen.
Right.
Of course.
But his timing is just still the same. And I couldn't. To my coach all the time, I couldn't imagine standing in front of him when he was 30, when he had that athleticism and youth with the same timing. Like it must have been like a scary.
Oh, he's one of my all-time. Oh, he's one of my Mount Rushmore. He's awesome. Anytime he would fight, I want to see that one.
He's awesome, and I've met a lot of people in this fight game that are fucking space cadets. That are,
of course,
that have half a brain cell left. They can't put words together. Leota is the sharpest knife in the drawer still.
Well, that's great to hear. That's great to hear.
It is great to hear. And I will say the same thing. Like every time I ever interviewed him, he was amazing. Like he is one of those guys that was just always such a class act. So please, I'm serious. Please send him our best. I love that guy.
I absolutely will.
Yeah. Love.
Yeah. And then the other stuff is, did you ever used to cut hair professionally?
No. So once again, but I've been cutting since I was 11 years old.
Oh, at the crib and stuff.
Yes, but I've cut in the shop. I've done that. I just didn't want to be a barber full time because I felt like it was just too much time stagnant in one area. I like to be cutting hair. I cut my own hair. I got a barbershop in my house. I cut the homies. We chill. I actually had a podcast called Parlaying with Philly.
I saw. That's how I saw. I saw a little bit of that stuff, and I said, "Oh shit, he didn't know how to cut hair, barber." And you want to talk about? There's no one sharper than guys at a fucking barbershop. You want to talk about personality? Yeah, like I never met smarter, sharper, funnier dudes than in the fucking
Oh, come on.
barber
Especially in
shop.
New York. You already know
And
you
they'll
already know come on.
eat you alive. Those fucking guys. If
Bro,
you're not on your game, you can forget about it.
I grew so much from barbershops in New York City, like it's insane. But the only reason that podcast halted was because I like to do everything the right way. So there was a little noise from the clipper that it bothered me, and no one.
Yeah,
but I mean, like in the comments, it bothered me, and my friends like, Phil, it wasn't that bad. So I kind of halted. I have like 4 episodes. It's like my coach, Mike Perry, Dean Thomas.
I saw you had Gene Thomas, another friend of the show.
I like
this fucking guy. This fucking.
I love it. I was just working with him this weekend. I mean, come on, I love that guy.
I love Dean.
Dean is a one of a kind, for
Oh yeah, Dean is another one. There's not many in the fight game that get it. That's a part of culture. He's one of them.
Yeah, he's.
Amazing. Oh yeah, for sure.
I always have a great time. I was just with him and Rashad. Like I had a great weekend. You know what I mean?
Do you fuck with King Mo? He's another heel one.
Yep.
I've never really met him. I've fought against him or like our team.
His people. Yeah.
He was cornering. And like I've shook his hand a couple of times, but I've never really had a conversation with him.
He's low key a funny fucking dude. Like behind the scenes, he's a lot funnier. He seems mean and shit out in the world. He's a funny. He have a good sense of humor. He gets it. He knows what's up.
So you would know, right?
Yeah.
In the fight game.
Yeah.
You met a lot of people.
Yeah.
Sidebar. I love Israel Adesanya. I'm a big fan. He is not a part of my culture. He just isn't.
Well, he's just from a different place.
But look, respectfully, look, this is not a dig on him. Like he doesn't he doesn't know who. I don't want to do all that, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like he's a Nigerian that grew up in Australia. He's just not a part. Like, and they push him as my culture. Come on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's a little. It is different. He's a New Zealander. He's a different guy.
To him as a fighter. He's not a part of my culture. He's just simply not. Like he's not from where I'm from. Like you know, you don't. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't
know many guys in the fight game that connect. Here's what I mean. You know Nems.
Yeah. Like the British dude. Oh no! Sorry. No. Yes, the fucking Coney Island dude. Yeah. The Coney Island, Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Your life, right? So
Bing bong. Yeah.
Like Vinny Idol, Static, all these guys that I fuck with, right? That's the culture for me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what I'm saying is like, when I go to New York, I tap in with these people, right? And when I say like the UFC doesn't speak to my culture, you can't go to my neighborhood. They don't know who Francis Ngannou is in Jamaica.
Yeah.
They don't know. Respectfully, they don't know who Israel Adesanya is, and it's not a you know what I'm saying? So,
but
for you, who do you out of everyone you've met? How many guys in the game that are part of the culture, in your opinion? Like for me, I only know Dean. There's Dean, and then you know what I mean. There's not really that many for me.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, I noticed this too, but you know, in general, I've noticed there's not a lot of big time fighters that come straight from New York City.
I was gonna say Uriah was from Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's
right?
Yes, but even Uriah, who's my homie, he's not tapped in. You know what I mean? Like
I know what he's talking about, and
I know what you mean too.
To be honest, to be honest, the person who knew more about hip hop and shit, and you would never fucking believe it in your life, is Josh Barnett. More than any of the black fighters that I know, he would wow you. He would wow you with like something from like the first Gangstar album or some shit. Like it's shocking. Yeah,
Josh has an incredible knowledge of music because we have interviews going back years ago where we're both we do an interview and there's one part of the interview where we only speak to each other in Depeche Mode song titles. Like it's like the dude he knows a lot about a lot.
But he'll go into MF Doom and all kind of shit that you would be like, how you know this shit? You know, or soul fucking 90s H&B music or whatever. So it's shocking to me. But to be honest, I don't know a lot of New York MMA fighters. For some reason, it's not a hotbed for the famous MMA fighters.
What I mean, there's the Renzo Gracie guys, right? So there is people training right out of New York.
Yeah, I'm saying guys that is from New York, from the culture.
Yeah.
and it's a different stuff. It's not. There's plenty of guys who's like from the South and they know all about
Right.
the fucking trap music and stuff like that. But there's a certain kind of person like what you're saying, where like there's a Timberland instead of a Harch, there's a Timberland in there.
How do you feel about Tony Ferguson though? Because he likes at least that old b-boy stuff and
He's
some
But
of the
he's not
fun.
from.
yo,
But
I
he's
know
not
he's not
from.
from there. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. But Tony actually, every time Tony comes out and plays his stuff for open workouts or whatever, like I always love what he's
Oh, for
playing.
sure, because he's an old b-boy. But that's a different story. There's a
Right. No,
lot
I know
of
it's different, but at
Filipino
least
b-boys.
that
Yeah.
culture of that, it's like it's tangential.
for
Yeah.
me is this representation, right? There's no representation from where I'm from and the people that connect with Phil. So what I also do and what I'm super passionate about is I go to troubled, quote unquote, high schools, the worst high schools in the country, and I talk to kids and I mentor kids. I work
Mhm.
with I Get Your Teach On, Wade King, Get Your Teach On. Mario Lopez is kind of the face of their organization. They
Okay.
empower over 6,000 educators. I was just in Diploma Plus High School in Coney Island, right? Quote unquote one of the worst schools in the country. Like kids are getting killed in that school.
Hey, Coney Island is no joke.
Grimy. My point is this: no one in that school knows who Kamara Usman is. Respectfully,
Yeah. Yeah.
they know who Javante Davis is. You know what I mean?
Of course.
When you're talking kids, like literally getting guns out of kids' hands. Representation is a big deal. When I go there and they see me, it's cool, man. Yo, you can kickbox, you can wrestle. We
Right.
can get up out of here. You don't got to do. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean.
Totally.
Like my coach.
You want to put the straight hazer or the box cutter in their hand instead of the gun.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So-
Yeah.
There's not, and I see it, but Brian, shout out to Brian from the UFC. He's been working with me now, and he's kind of trying to give me the push, but it needs to be there, But in the UFC, they try to pick certain guys that they want to represent my culture, and
Yeah.
they're not it,
But you gotta push.
I am.
So it's not part of the culture. MMA is not part of the New York culture.
No, it's not.
If anything, is basketball and is boxing.
Mhm.
And in the old days, in terms of martial arts, it was there was a lot of badass black Kahari guys from New York, and that was the culture.
Tiger Schulman or whatever. Right?
Well, no, but but black. There was a lot of black and Puerto Rican Kahari stars back in the 70s
In
and
the
shit like
70s,
that. But now it's time educate these people. They don't know.
No, and Renato, more so than New York City, right? Like I'm going to Inglewood. I'm going to Detroit. I'm literally, right? I'm feet on the ground. I'm going to talk to these kids, right?
Yeah, that's
so it is not even necessarily just New York. My culture is way more than New York, right?
I understand, but it's a specific.
It is, but it isn't. What I'm trying to say is like I want kids that grew up how I grew up, right? When they see me, I could do that because Phil's doing it. Phil,
Sure.
I can do that too, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta be that guy because there's nobody in the UFC that is that guy. There just is not.
Yeah.
Not one.
Hey, listen.
Period.
If you keep your eyes on that and you have that as your fucking thing, you're gonna make it happen, my brother.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I love it, and I'm excited, and at least I know I'm working the fight in Jacksonville, so I can help get your story out.
Karyn, who are
but,
you rooting for? Me or Neil Magny? Let me know now, so I can hang up on you. Who you rooting for? Me or Neil Magny? What are we doing?
dude, I'm not rooting for
Me or
anybody.
Neil
I
Magny?
just say
What are
may
we
the
doing?
best
What do you
man
mean I'm
win.
rooting for anybody? Me or Neil Magny? Point blank. Period.
No. Honestly, I don't have a dog in the fight. When it's two
No.
former
What are you
guests, I said this in the beginning of the show. When it's two former guests, we
Who are
always
we
say
rooting
may the best
for?
man
Me or
win.
Neil Magny? You got to root for somebody. What are we talking about? There can't be two.
How can you root for a Haitian against a Jamaican?
Period.
How dare
Oh,
you?
we're going there. Now we're drawing those lines.
Me a bomba clat.
Period.
Me a
You're
bomba.
Jamaican. Mother is Jamaican. You just what is happening?
Yeah.
Now we
Sketel.
got the recency bias and all the rooting and everything. No, honestly, I honestly think it's gonna be a great fight. I'm really looking forward to it.
Cut that out. This. We're not on ESPN. Your mom is Jamaican. Who are you rooting for?
We on BET now.
Who are you rooting for?
Phil, let's go. Let's have a great fight.
She wants the guy from the islands to win.
Wow, an hour and 43 minutes with you. That's how you do it. That's cool. Okay.
Listen, from my heart, I want Philly fresh.
Listen. Honestly, though, you know it's tricky to be honest, completely honest with you. It is funny because I do feel like I want like I'm looking forward to a changing of the guard. Like as much as this weekend with the
Karyn,
co-main event with
stop it.
Benny and Oliveira, like those are literally two of my all-time favorite fighters
Stop it.
on the planet. But yeah, I'm like, let's go Benny at this point because Charles had his chance. You know, and
Fuck
so
your
I gotta
mom,
be
you're
honest. Like,
Monday,
there's a part of me that's
Jamaican.
like,
Who
okay,
are you
Philly
rooting
Fresh,
for?
Philly Fresh. Let's see what you can do. Like if you're gonna do it and
Yeah.
you're gonna say what you're gonna do and
I'm
you're gonna
gonna
go
do
and show out.
You know what the problem is?
Give us something
She's
to get
too busy.
excited.
She's too busy putting hoots on your Uncle Hanach
Hey.
instead of hooting for our countrymen.
He
She tried to put
wishes.
Jamaican voodoo on me all the time to make me go out with her.
He
It's all.
wishes.
I know who Renato's rocking with. You know, it's all cool. It's all.
Yeah,
Listen.
yeah. I have my priorities straight for her.
And look, I say this all the time. You watch this, right? In the fight game. How often does this happen? And this is what I mean, not my culture. Because this don't happen where I'm from. I've never gotten a fist fight with somebody and after we hugged and kissed, we were on our forehead to forehead, like we're in the Notebook. If we got beef forever. You got beef with my cousins and your cousins. So what I do is I'm on the polar opposite end. Respect, goofy,
Okay.
love. Because once it goes the other way, it's all the way that way. So I don't ever like to be that way. So you see me, I'm goofy, I'm funny, it's love. But you're not going to talk about my wife, my kids, and when I see you, we're going to fight, then after we're going to kiss in the ring.
We're not gonna be cool.
Yeah.
These guys are weenies. I'm not that. All these
Yeah.
UFC fighters, you watch, they'll be talking about kids and moms are promoting the fight. Right after 15-minute match is over, they're on their knees, forehead to forehead.
Yeah.
Brother, weirdos.
What, brother?
Not me.
I don't like you, but goddamn it, I respect you, brother. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have beef with them. You have oxtail with them, or you have ox.
Oh
Chicken.
yeah.
That's jerk chicken. That's not
Yeah.
You got Patian. You got
Yeah, you got-
Rotian.
Oh, hochi and sour sop for huh?
Sour
Talk
salt.
patois, Karyn. You rooted for Neil Magny. You can't talk patois anymore.
Who I'm not
Your
rooting
mom's
for anybody.
Jamaican,
Look at
and you're rooting.
But don't they speak a patois in Haiti too?
No.
They call that shit patois, don't they?
dude,
No, Creole. They call that shit Creole.
That's not patois.
Well, you're gonna have those Haitians on your ass now.
I love Haitian people.
I was gonna say, look, I'm rooting for a
Now,
big fight. That's all I can
Enough
say.
about Haitians. Enough about Jamaicans. Let's just before
Renato,
you
we
go.
gotta
Let's
let him go. It's really
let,
late on the East Coast.
I know.
now.
Before you go,
Yeah.
forget about Haitians. Forget about Jamaica. Let's talk about white women. Now, if I come out there to Orlando, your wifey must have some friends
I'll put
that
you on-
want to make, huh?
I'll put you on a doctor, man.
Okay, so they wanna make me some coleslaw with Hazens in there and all that kind of shit. I'm heady. I'm gonna dive hiding. I don't discriminate, boy. Huh?
They make a mean grilled cheese, though. Look out.
All that stuff.
Word.
I'm heady.
I
Yo,
love
Oh.
it. I love it.
word, man. You're in Orlando. You tap in, man. I'm locked in this city, man. I really
Oh,
am.
I like the
I
sound
actually am
of that,
going
my
there for a
brother.
few days after Jacksonville. I'm gonna hang out in Orlando.
Hit
for
me
a
Never
few
mind
days.
that.
I'll take you to the best sushi spot you've had in your life.
My mom is gonna be there with me. My Jamaican mom.
Hey,
So
hey.
yes.
Oh, Carayo, speaking of your mom, tell her she'll hit me up if she's ever out in LA, Carayo.
But Phil, hit us up if you ever come out here in LA because there actually is a pretty good Jamaican spot not too far from me. There's a couple actually. But obviously Renato could roll with you and stuff like that. If you ever do make it out here, check out the LA culture and the hip hop and stuff like
I
that. We
want
know some
to.
cool
I really
people,
do.
but he
I
would
just
definitely
gotta-
show
I
you
gotta
around,
know
I'm sure.
out there, and now I do, but I definitely want to. I haven't. I'm 32 years old. I got to go out there.
Yeah, well, we will embrace you out here, Poha.
For
Word.
sure.
There's
for sure.
there's
Well,
plenty of
listen,
fucked up kids out here for you to inspire. Oh,
There you
Carayo.
go.
totally.
Yeah,
Look,
trust
Well, I
me.
really am glad
I'm
that you
coming out
joined
there. I
us
want
and
Inglewood.
really looking forward to seeing you fight. It is in a couple weeks down at UFC Jacksonville. It's the one that's UFC on ABC. He's fighting Neil Magny, and I bet, you're going to have a ton of people since it's only 2 hours from your hometown. So,
Oh yeah, I seen Florida. Oh yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
It's in Florida. Yeah. So this is going to be amazing. So you're coming off what, 3 wins in a row, 4 wins in a row?
3 knockouts in a row.
Ooh.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah,
I
all
love it.
finishes. All your wins is finished now.
All
Yep.
my wins are finishes, and I got
Just
What the
like
fuck else
Renato
you
this
want?
last weekend.
What else
It's
you want
awesome.
from this kid?
That's
Start
what I'm
arguing.
saying.
They want
If you
me to-
don't know,
I'm gonna
now
deliver
you
Neil
know.
Magny to them, and they'll see.
Awesome.
Hey,
Well, Phil,
Karyn,
thank you.
Renato, thank you guys so much for having me on your platform. I appreciate it. Was a blast.
It was a
Big
pleasure.
guys. Nothing but love.
All right, we'll see
Okay,
you
my
soon,
brother.
Phil. Take it
Okay,
easy.
take care, my brother.
Bye.
Be good.
What a good dude.
He's a good dude. I listen. I'm a legitimate fan of his fighting. You know,
For
I
sure.
have a soft spot for anybody who follow me and you know like what I do. So I'm like a sucker for that shit. But on top of that, even if he didn't know me or none of that shit, I would be a fan of the way he fight because
For sure.
what's not your like? I mean, you can't expect everybody to have all finishes, but when you have somebody that have all finishes, it's like, what the fuck else? You know, it's like, God, are you?
Well, exactly that. I mean, and it's funny that that you say that because with this past weekend, Daniel Pineda he has 100% finishing rate
Wow,
too.
let
But
me
our boy
tell you.
Alex Caceres,
Let me tell you.
won this fight, and that's the whole thing. Because I talked to Alex after I was saying at the beginning of the show, Rashad and I ran into him when we like got dropped off after work, and Alex was like, "Yeah, the armbar was close. The Kimura was close." He's like, it was.
I know. I know that arm bar was close, and I thought I couldn't believe his arm was even functional after that because that he's a gritty individual, you know, to get through that. But at least he knew how to get the fuck out of there eventually. But
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, did he look good in that fight.
Well, and this is the thing. Pineda is the same type of thing as Phil, 100%
Yeah,
finish rate.
yeah.
And
My
they're
God,
both.
I mean, those body shots, and I don't know what was keeping Pineda up. I mean, you can tell, look, I mean, he couldn't hide it, but
Yep.
listen, even one of those would have finished most guys.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know what he's made of, but he should have been out of there so many times before that.
Yeah, it was incredible. But yeah, so I was excited for Alex, and folks know that he's a former guest of ours. Let me just double check what episode number. Like I said, so
Yeah.
Alex was episode number 74.
I was so impressed. That might have been his most impressive performance to me.
I know.
I mean, it wasn't as flashy as some of the other ones or whatever, but it was
Well,
gritty and it
it's
was
true.
control. Oh my
Anakin's
God,
saying,
yeah.
yeah, Alex is underrated. Glad to see him
He
winning. He's
he
saying
might
true
have turned
enough.
a corner with that. Like, yeah,
Well,
showing
and
up.
that's the
Yeah,
whole thing. So here's the thing: is what we were talking about afterwards, because he was number 15 going into this fight,
yeah.
and so then afterwards, when we were talking to him, he was like, "Hey, who do you like?" We were all like, "Who do you think you should fight next?" And he's like, "Well, look, I want to go for it now. Like I've been here a long time now, yeah, and things are coming together and things are clicking." He's like, "Now I'm gonna start asking for big things." And so we were like, "Well, you could ask for somebody like Cater coming off his knee injury. He's like number 8 or so, and he was, so Alex will maybe move up, like whatever." But we were like, he's like, "No, I am ready to take these big jumps and fight the guys like much higher
I
up,
I
and
wouldn't put
I'm
it
I'm
past
here
him.
for it." Yeah,
Yeah, he's. If there was any question, that boy, I was very. That was probably the most. That was the takeaway from that night was him. That was what I came away. If I thought about that card, that's what I came away with was that was his night to me.
yeah, yeah. It was pretty great. It was pretty great. But I do want to ask you then. Oh wait, wrong one. Sorry. What?
Ah,
Well,
but
well,
hey,
well, we can talk about it because our boy Tim, and
ah,
I want to get to the main event, but Tim was our guest a couple of weeks ago. He was not happy with this performance. He was like,
okay,
"Hey,
because
I trained a bunch of different things that I didn't get to show."
well, he said it perfectly. He said, "Yeah, I won the fight, and yeah, I was able to dominate in certain position, but like." I feel like he's been working on a lot of shit in the lab, and just like Philly Fresh there, I'm sure in the gym and in training, he's probably doing stuff that's look supernatural. And but when the goings got tough, he had to resort to just the stuff that he already know, and he was kind of like, "Fuck!" I wanted to show just how much I've advanced and stuff. So it's like he's his own worst critic, but luckily we don't have the same standards that he have for himself. But
Yeah,
I think that's the mark of a champion, someone who even in a win is not satisfied.
I agree with you, and it is interesting though, right? Because there was also, more added pressure on him because of him speaking out about what was going on with him in his personal life. So there were more eyeballs on him too, and so I'm
I
sure.
missed it. I missed his walkout. What did he came out to?
Oh gosh, you're right.
Because I
He
was
didn't come out
hoping,
to
I was
pay back
praying
though.
he was gonna come out to
I
James
know. I don't
Brown.
think he did. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember, so I don't think he
If he
came out
would
to pay.
have, he should have took our advice on that one.
I think I would have remembered hearing it. Yeah. So I don't think he. Yeah. I don't
That would have
remember.
been. That would have been. Oh
Um.
well.
Yeah. I want to wait, and I'm trying to. So okay. So I want to know what you thought. And oh, I
Mm,
should look really quickly, and I guess I know what our thing was. So I personally thought that Kai Kara France won this fight. Chidi last week picked Kai Kara France, and I put a poll up on our comments. It was 80% to 20%, actually 81 to
yeah.
19. People saying Kai Kara France. So even though the judges gave it to Albazi, I'm saying that Chidi got it right because collectively our fan base seems to think Kai won. I think he won.
Okay, so I'm gonna preface this by saying, first of all, I told you before, I'm a big fan of Kai Kara France, just how he fight. But we don't know each other. Okay, we have mutual friend, but we don't know each other. Now, I believe I follow him. He don't follow me. So we have no connection. Now, Amir have been following me for some time here. Just on that fact alone, I gotta go for for the guy that is going for me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like in a certain way, I feel like he's going for me. So in that way, even though I really like, I'm a Kai Kara France fan, I was going for Amir. Okay, now having said that, when they was about to hit the scorecard, I said to myself, "Listen, hey, let's get them next time." I
Right.
said to myself, I think this is the best of both worlds. I was like, I feel like Amir represented himself very good. I feel like he was in the fight up until the last second. I was like, this is a good for you brand. Like,
Right.
yeah, you didn't got the win, but people know you as a force to be hacking with.
And you're
And
going
at
to
the same
level up from
time,
this. Yeah.
a fighter that I do like, even though I wasn't rooting for him, I was like, this is a chance for him to get back on track. And I feel like, so I was like, this is almost a win-win situation. I was like, so hey, nothing to be ashamed of. And then when I saw it was a split decision, I went, okay, yeah, fair, okay, fine, but at least they're gonna get it high. The next guy is not. There's only gonna be one guy who's gonna do that, whatever. And when they said his name, I have to say, even though I was rooting for him, I don't want myself or someone I'm rooting for to win under dubious circumstance. You know what I'm saying? I did not have him winning that fight. Okay, was it a blowout? No. If anything, I have it being a close fight, but a unanimous decision. 49-48, whatever. Um, Now, is that fucking Amir's fault? Fuck no. So I don't want to see no hate for him and oh fuck you, blah, blah. And I know he's gonna get a lot of hate now, and it's not his
I
fault.
hope not.
He is anyway. You can see it. Now the fighters have no fucking control over the fucking scorecards or whatever. But once again, I feel like they got it hung. How can I tell? I was literally hooting for the guy.
And you didn't think he
And
won.
when you hoot for someone, you have a tendency to overplay,
Of course.
overvalue the good stuffs they do. So if I'm sitting there thinking, you'll get him next time, my brother, that
Yeah.
tells me that he lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But
here's the
was it the worst robbery in history? Fuck no. I see much worse than that even. So and if you leave it to these fucking idiots, anything is possible. Like Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible.
well, it's exactly. So here's the thing. And Amir came to the desk with us after the show, and he is so likable. Like I loved his
Yeah.
energy in person. Like I
I
got
love his
no issues with the
story,
dude.
everything about the kid.
No issues with him at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited for him, and I'm excited. And I said so. I'm like, I can't wait to watch your story unfold. Like it's exciting to see you here. But in my brain, I was like, you didn't win, and
Yeah.
it's hard because
It's
you
tough.
know it's tough because we come on the show and it's immediate, and I watched the whole fight like right from the side of the octagon, And it was close. And yeah, round 3, Amir almost had Kai, but then Kai turned it around. And round 5 was so obviously his. And I get that, round 1, you're like, I don't know, but like I saw Kai winning. Rashad and I both sat there. And we
Listen,
both thought Kai
listen,
won. And but
listen. We
Dean
know.
Thomas thought Amir won.
What was the criteria?
When he came back, we didn't really have too much time to talk about it. I guess I'm trying to remember now what he was saying on the show. And I think he thought he, controlled it more, and like that his blows, because there were times when he sent Kai back, like
I will say this.
did seem more impactful.
I will say this. I was trying to explain to somebody about the fight who didn't watch it.
Yeah.
And he was like, was it really that big of a robbery? And I go, listen, I think it was the Hong Kong. But the way people is making it, they're blowing it out of proportion. Because I will say this, because he looked up the fight stats, okay?
Oh,
then
the
he goes,
numbers were all in favor of
no,
Kai
I know.
by a
Then he
lot.
goes, what the fuck? He goes, I never seen it. And I go, but my brother, slow down. I said, those fight stats is a little, even though I think he lost, those fight stats is a little misleading, because I will say that even though they're calling significant shot or whatever, I feel like the shots that Amir did hit him with was more damaging and more had more effect to them.
They looked it, but if you actually looked at the fight, Amir wore more of the fight than Kai did.
I'm not talking about superficial
But I know what
damage.
you're saying. Yes, they were bigger blows, and they sent Kai back more. Like Amir's a powerful guy, you can tell.
Yeah. Now, having said that, still, I was like, at the finish line, I was like, get him next time, Chaiga, and that's just what I thought.
Yeah, and to your point, I was rooting for Kai, and so I was probably, if anything, and I saw Kai the day before, I really like the guy. I've got work,
and I do too. I feel bad. Listen, I feel bad. Even it was the only thing that put it over the top. Is just literally, if I you understand,
right? Exactly.
But can you see that?
And I got nothing. I got nothing against Amir at all. It's just that I like Kai better, But yeah. So luckily, I don't think it's going to take anything off of Kai. I mean, obviously, it might bump him in the ratings.
I feel bad for the guy,
but it doesn't. It's not going to.
Listen,
we all know. Anybody who's a fight fan knows how good a fighter he is, and
I'm going to tell you the truth. My stomach felt a little sick. I could not enjoy Amir winning. My stomach felt a little sick for some reason, because I don't like unfairness.
I know it sucks. It feels unjustified.
I don't like it,
and it doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel right.
Can I? Unless I want to say one thing about this. The only saving grace in this situation is that, much like sometimes you watch a playoff basketball game, and you see a horrendous fucking call happen, like one that's so obvious, and you go, this is fucking this team up, and you get all the team you're rooting for, you get all like bent out of shape. But then you have to remember that at some point in the rest of the game, the referees is going to make an egregious call on the other fucking side, and it's going to be just as bad, and your team isn't going to be like, oh, you know what, let's tell them the truth, what happened. So because you have this human error, somehow it all end up coming out in the wash, because you're getting fucked up calls in general, So what's gonna happen one day is Kai is gonna be the beneficiary of a fucked up decision that he don't deserve, and the vice versa is gonna happen to Amir.
Well,
so these things,
because I don't know that it's evened out for people like Angela. I don't know if it's evened out for people like, before, like even Masvidal back in the day used to get screwed on split decisions. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying,
out for Masvidal, it did.
I'm just saying, listen.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
This shit is, unless somebody does something about this, listen, I get passionate about it because I fucking hate it, and I think it's one of the dumbest things on earth. There's a lot of stuff in MMA that's so stupid. I don't know what the bureaucracy behind it. I don't know the unions. I don't know nothing about what needs to be, how you get done what I'm talking about. But something has to be, unless something get done, if you don't finish a guy, you can just go, okay, let's have Hodge, Siskel and Ebert decide who wins this one.
Yeah.
Do you give the thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, so again, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Chidi got it right. When we look at our stats, I'm gonna say he got it right because all of our fans say
good luck
that
if you was betting.
The majority of our fans say that Kai won. I believe Kai won. You believe Kai won. Like,
well, check that through the betting to FanDuel or whatever and see what they say about that.
Well, I don't care because we make the rules because it's our show, so it doesn't matter what we say, and we get to make our choices and say what we say. So with that in mind, let's see what Chidi thinks about this weekend.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Chidi's Choice. Today, the Fistivities bearded dragon mascot will be choosing the UFC 289 main event between Amanda Nunes, the champ, and Irene Aldana. What we do is we put Chidi down in front of 2 piles of arugula, but first we take the names and we randomize them. I mix them up here, put one here, and Chidi goes and makes his choice. Chidi has gone to the right. Chidi believes that Irene Aldana will become the champion. Mexico may get a 4th champion. We shall see.
Now that is exciting.
So let me tell you, Rashad on the show also picked Aldana, and he's the same guy that picked Holly Holm to beat Ronda Rousey.
What's the criteria? What was his? What was he? I don't disagree, but what does he say about that? Why?
So here, because okay, so I'll take you through the argument. So he's like, I believe Aldana can win, and I said, okay, just playing devil's advocate. I said, I believe Irene Aldana is very, very good, and I said I thought she was going to beat Holly Holm. Like I thought she was going to have more success against Holly. The fact that she didn't have success against Holly.
It worries you.
And then he goes, okay, but that was a couple fights ago, right? He's like, so she needed that fight to learn and level up. And since the fight with Holly, he's like, she's gotten so much better. And the truth of the matter is, she is a big girl. Like I'm 5'8", and I'm not small. And when I remember seeing Irene Aldana in Mexico City at the hotel, I was like, oh, like she's big girl. Like she's bigger than me. Amanda's about my size, a little broader shouldered or whatever. But Aldana is a physically imposing woman, and she has such great boxing. She has great boxing. And then when you add to it, okay, so after she lost to Pena, the first, and she obviously reclaimed her belt. But I know that Amanda was really injured before the first fight with Pena and whatever. But she almost retired after that, right? So maybe he's like, okay, so I'm questioning Mandy's motivation. And then also when you add in the fact that the gym that Irene Aldana trains in with Lobo, you got Grasso as a champion, you got Brandon, you got like the momentum.
You got championship
exactly.
Pedigree.
He's like all of these things coming together really make an argument for Aldana.
And he's been a champ. He's been the champ.
Right.
And he's been in a gym like that.
Exactly. And when you put it together like that, you go, it's whatever. And so it's really crazy, right? Because I do believe that Amanda Nunes is the greatest.
Yeah.
But like with Valentina Shevchenko falling at this point, you're like, shoot, I don't even know.
Anything can happen. Yeah. And plus, Muhammad Ali was the greatest, and then he lost to Ken Norch, and he lost to Joe Frazier. I mean, it can happen. The greatest don't mean they're undefeated. But this is another situation. Aldana follow me, and Nunes don't.
Here we go.
And I don't know why Nunes was not interested in my advances when she had the chance. For some reason, she somehow gave me. She never seemed quite interested in you, Uncle Hanach, for some reason.
I'll get back to you.
Listen, it's her funeral because, it's her loss.
I get along so well.
I wonder. That's interesting. I don't get it, but anyhow, Aldana have great taste. And she happened to follow your Uncle Hanachi and Mexico.
It's going to be an awesome fight. I'm curious.
Viva Mexico, as far as I'm concerned.
Viva Mexico.
If you're a fighter and you want your Uncle Hanachi support, it's just simple. Press the follow button. Don't neglect your Uncle Hanachi.
I don't know. It's hard though, right? Because it's tough because I feel like it's this exact kind of scenario where you convince yourself that the other person has a chance, and then Amanda comes out and just blasts them and is like, "Oh, I guess y'all must have forgot."
But that's why we watch it. That's why we watch it, because maybe that's what's supposed to happen, and then it doesn't, or it does. Who the fuck knows? That's why sports in general, and then even more because of the stakes of the damage and the violence. It's nothing like it, you know. It's like, what the fuck is gonna happen, you know?
I
It's
know, and
crazy.
that's why I love my job. But I will say that, like, if she's on, Mandy can f stuff up.
Well, of
Like,
course,
you can, like, so, like,
of course.
if like you can, I can picture a scenario where in hindsight we're all like, I can't believe we even gave Aldana a chance. You know what I mean? If Amanda looks as amazing as she
For
can
sure.
be, you know.
Listen, I'll put it to you this way. When what's her name? When
Yeah,
Pena,
yeah.
when she beat her, I remember. I don't know why I thought this, but I had just this weird feeling in my stomach that she was, for some reason, I didn't have any good reason why, but I thought she's gonna win this fucking thing. Okay. And I meant to put a bet, and then I was doing fucking high haulers, and I got mixed up in doing like a sound check or some shit like that, rehearsal stuff, and then I forgot to put in my bet, and then we was all watching it back there, and I couldn't. It was almost like a nightmare because as it was happening, I go, I can't believe, and no one's gonna believe me that I thought she was gonna
Right,
do it, and I was like,
right.
but I said,
But
and nobody in there had her, not a person in there had her having a chance, not
right.
one chance, and I couldn't fucking believe it. But anyway, so, but at the same time, if she had got obliterated by Amanda, I wouldn't have been shocked either.
Right.
I would have just been like, yeah, that's what she does. I guess I was wrong, you know. But there was something about Juliana, her fucking demeanor.
Well, she has such an aggressive, like,
Uh,
not never back down personality that, like, she has so much, like, self-belief and confidence and yeah.
Yeah, but somehow when she said what she was saying, I was like, I believe her. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
it's you go, this is bluster. This person's trying to believe this. This person's trying to do like positive, fake it till you
Right.
make it, positive affirmation. I was like, sometimes you can
She
just see
believes
like, oh shit,
she believes everything she says, I think.
yeah,
I
like
really do.
she's not kidding here. And I was like, wow, I can't believe it. She really think that all this shit is true. And I was like, she knows something. She's yeah. Anyway, so I don't
Okay,
know. I
so
don't know that Aldana have that. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know either. I just know what Chidi says, and
Yeah.
of course we shall see.
I'm
So a
kind of
couple things.
shocked that Chidi had her. I'm shocked.
Yeah, a couple things here. So we have a dating advice question here with a donation, but I had
Oh, I
this
love
one
it.
other thing I wanted to get to as well. That's semi-fight related and semi not. So what do you want to do? Do you want to get into the dating things and then this other semi-fight related thing first, or what do you want to do first?
I feel like since they just asked the question, let's get it while the gettings is good.
Okay. Okay. So here we go. Then we have this question here with a donation from Phaser, dating advice
I thought it was a heel fucking question.
who have a bush.
Oh, I thought that was a heel question, poor her.
And I would say this. I don't want you to have it bald
Mm,
because that's scary looking. So
yeah.
I would like to be able to see the forest for the trees or whatever. I don't even know how to use the analogy.
Yeah.
I would like to not need a weed whacker, I suppose, but also please don't go there.
Yeah. From what I understand, um, first of all, I'll say this. From what I understand, period, women is way more forgiving about all that kind of shit than men are. Men can be such pussies, ironically, about
Right.
a woman's pussy not being perfectly whatever, whatever, whatever. Your Uncle Renato is not that way. But I see it. Guys, it's just they've been conditioned, not unlike the only way I can relate is that I could say up and down that like I'm not that way, but I gotta be honest, I don't like seeing women with underarm hair. I just don't like it. Now, I realize that it's only because I've been brainwashed and conditioned.
Yep.
I realize that. But at this point, it's too deep ingrained.
You like what you like.
Yeah, and I'm just not used to it, and I prefer them to be have shaved underarm. Okay, But women is like very much more forgiving about this stuff. But at the same time, they don't want it to look like a 70s porno. Wait. Yeah, there you go. That's the perfect. That's the
Team
perfect.
Johnny Morrow, cut the lawn, don't scorch the earth.
For me, that's also my philosophy when it comes to women. I'm not mad at the full shave thing, but to be honest, it back in the day that didn't used to be the norm. And when I first started seeing it, it was a little strange for me because it reminded me of when you was a little kid, like playing in the sprinklers, and certain little kids, they don't bother the bathing suit, they just have
That's
like
what I'm saying. It implies youth, and then that could also
it
get a
looked
little
like
weird.
it looked like a baby's vagina. Like there was something about that was not womanly to me.
Yeah.
So it used to kind of trip me out a little bit. Okay. Then it became, I got so used to it that I didn't associate it with that no more because it just became the norm.
Right.
But I have to say, I sometimes do miss, like, from the movies like Porky's
The
or
old days when there was
Revenge of the Nerds
Yeah.
or old Playboy magazines where you just had a triangle, like just a triangle,
Right.
but it was manicured like you lawn. For me, that's ideal.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the only thing that I prefer not to have is where the bush just going out and kind of
Spreads on the
connecting to
legs.
the hair and the fucking thighs. That to me is like, that's like Welcome Back, Carter.
Now your horse shack down.
You know what I'm saying? You look like a Mr. Carter. Something about that is like, it's not.
Once it
So
hits the legs, you gotta
I would
reel it back
imagine
in.
that a women would just like it to be a little bit chided up, like you ever seen these guys who go up to somebody's door on YouTube and they go, "Hey, you mind if I fix up your lawn for you for
Right.
free?"
Edge you up a little.
Just edge the fucking stuffs up. We don't need to go crazy here. So I feel like do the women a favor and show that you're at least trying a little bit,
Right.
because they appreciate
Yes.
that one. But they don't
Yes.
want a man who's overgroomed. They don't want you to look like you got Jersey Shore eyebrows and
No, I want
your
you
whole
to be
body
manly.
shaved.
Like, I want you to be manly. I want
Yeah.
to know that you like are considerate of, like, does it look like a jungle? Like, I want you to
Yeah.
be considerate, but like don't be more manicured than I am. Like, I don't want a girly guy. I don't want an overly
Yeah.
manicured guy. I don't want I don't want
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I think it's the difference between having a fucking beard that look like Swami Boa versus a beard that has been like taken care of a little
Just
bit. You know what I
care a
mean?
little, yeah.
You can still have a beard.
For
It
sure.
don't mean it have to be clean shaven, but just take care of that one a little
Take
something.
care of it. Take care of it.
I think that's the easiest. I think that's an easy one.
I think so too. All right. Well, so that was our so far.
That's
if
the
we have
only
any-
relationship question.
So far, that's the only relationship question. So here's the other thing I wanted to get into. I don't know if you saw this, Renato, but there was a fight at a soccer game between some parents, and it got pretty bad. And I didn't.
I might have.
I know one guy the guy got arrested apparently, but so I want to do this, and I've broken it down, and I've gone into a little bit of I've even included some slow-mo and stuff. So basically, there's one guy who is like a one-man wrecking machine.
Oh shit!
Who knocks all these people over? Then he wrecks one guy. Then he wrecks a lady.
Oh, then I did. Wait, did I see this?
No, okay, so it's this whole thing. It's a whole thing.
I see so many of these stupid fucking disturbing videos all the time on IG.
Right.
I can't keep them straight. So I might have, but
this one was insane to me. So here we go. Here we go.
No, I didn't saw this one.
This one guy from the left of the screen. That's it. And the whistles are all blowing. So keep watching. Gray shirt. Boom. Lays that guy out. Oh, you want some? Who's coming for more? Oh, you want some? Boom. Oh, okay, Grandma, you want some? Boom. Look at her. Meanwhile, all the whistles. He's gone. Listen to this.
It's calm.
Oh, here comes the lady. The dude. So it's the guy on the left pushes all of them over, right?
What?
So he knocks over like a group of people, then jumps in.
Wow. This is like a Royal Humble.
He rolls all these people.
No, what a dickhead.
Here comes this guy. Look at this.
Okay.
Boom.
Boom.
This is a lady
Okay.
right here. This is a lady. And then I put one clip. This is my favorite. Look at this guy. He's like, here, hold my glasses. Watch this. This guy on the right in the gray shirt takes his glasses off, hold my glasses, then jumps in the fray.
Okay. Okay. I have a lot of different opinion about this.
Okay. Because
First of all, ask me any question you have about this. I have a lot of different stuff.
Okay, well, it's just first and foremost, there's a part of me that's like, that dude's amazing that rolled so many people all by himself. But then also I'm like, who's the biggest a-hole I've ever met? And that's some dude's parent, some kid who's on the field. That's some kid's parent doing that.
So let's put it to you this way. First of all, you're a piece of shit if you're getting into fist fights. You're not there for your child. You're there for yourself. And you're there for your own glory. Probably the reason why these parents get into a fight is because they're there for the wrong reason. They're not there for the children, which I can't, I'm the patch calling the cattle African American. But you're not there for the kid. You're there so that your kid looks better than the other kids, or you're trying to he live your glory that you didn't have, or you know what I'm saying. You're trying to, my kid is tougher than your kid, whatever bullshit.
Right.
So then you're gonna start piping up and talking shit with the other parents or whatever. This is disgusting behavior. Don't come otherwise, if you can't control yourself at the fucking kids game. It's a terrible fucking, anybody can see that's a terrible example. Okay, that's obvious. Okay. Second thing is, first of all, the part that I don't understand is, what were those people doing that he pushed over? It looked like they was fighting.
Yeah, so
or they was hugging each other.
At first, what's happening right here at the beginning, right? Yeah, they're like.
So what I'm thinking, the only way I can justify is his homeboy is getting jumped somehow.
Right.
And he looked like maybe he's going in and doing something about it, because I don't understand why was four or five people
were like in each other's faces collectively, like close up, and then he just came.
Now, but even that approach don't make sense if your boy is in there, because you're gonna hurt him by doing that. So maybe he's drunk. Another thing, you shouldn't be drunk at your fucking kids' games. So I don't understand why this shit is even taking place. So that's why I'm confused. So I don't know who's the original fucking asshole here, okay? But a couple stuffs that I think is fucked up here. This guy is not in the greatest shape of his life, but he looks strong. He looks stronger than these other people. And he looked a little bit younger than a lot of the other people. Right. Okay? You got a lot of guys with gray hair trying to fight him, whatever. Right. So, I don't give anybody any credit for jumping into the fray, when it's people who look like, geriatric fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of grandparents and shit. So fuck him for that in the first place. Now, here's where I flip on it. Now, once this shit is on and cracking, and you got people, fighting, grown adults fighting, I have no problem with what he did with Granny. And I'll tell you why. If you have a fucking grown man, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'll tell you this. I would hope my granny is smart enough to know, when you got a grown fucking man who is also younger than you, who is piping mad and fighting other men, like, what the fuck are you doing trying to hush that guy? Um, Now, what shows me that he have a little restraint is he didn't punch her in the face, which he could have did. He just said, "Get the fuck out of here, Granny." And I don't know, what are you supposed to do when someone hush you? What's the alternative?
This one goes knock if you buck.
Yeah,
Knock if you
indeed.
buck.
Not if you back, indeed.
It's
Because
true. Listen,
what am I supposed to do?
I get it. Look at, I get it, and that's the thing is like when somebody on the comments on or whatever, they were like, "Yo, what did Meemaw think he was gonna do?" You know what I mean? Like, she
But
jumps
okay,
in
let's
way.
put it in a different scenario. Say I get into an argument with a bunch of howdy kids that come
Right.
from high school.
But it's a bad look pushing over ladies.
Oh, I understand. I understand that.
Like it's like here she comes. She does.
Get out of here. But he's just getting her the fuck off him.
Yeah.
So
No,
a
you're
lot
right.
of stuff.
He did the same thing to a dude.
A lot of
Right.
stuff that he did in the first place, I don't like. But once the shit is on and cracking, and you in the fray, you in the melee, anybody who stepped to you is fair game. I actually credit him for having the restraint. Clearly, he chose to push these people off. He could have, and he looked powerful enough to really hurt these people. If I'm
I don't know
honest.
who she thinks she was. Like, because I don't know.
No, and
like,
I get
don't
it. She's
involved,
upset.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
I
who she
get that
thinks she
she's
is.
upset. Don't hunt up on somebody, period. If you don't want to get into a fist fight, or you don't, and
Yep.
let's put it to you this way, he didn't do nothing. He just pushed her off. That's nothing. She got off easy, as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't care who you are. If I'm in a fight, okay, if I'm in a fight with a grown man, okay, let's say I'm fighting a grown man in a parking lot, over a parking space, something like that. Let's say his 14-year-old son come and hush me. What do you want me to do? What should I do?
Well, I get it depends in if how much of an actual self-defense situation it appears to be. But then
I'm
you're
in a squaring off with his
you're
dad.
risking all kinds of stuff because it's a minor and this and that. Like this guy.
But
could
I'm
have concussed
squaring
that
off with.
woman. I know, but she like I get it. She came for him. I get it.
I
Like,
don't
get
care
it, but
if you. I don't care.
he got
I'm
arrested.
trying-
Is all I know. I didn't read the follow up, but I do. He did get arrested.
Here's the problem. I don't like that he had to do that to Granny. I don't know what option he had.
Well, he had the option to not start the fight and push everybody over.
Now that's where I agree. Once it got into the fight is on, okay? He could have started swinging. He made a choice to push these people. Look, he's a piece of shit, whatever. He was at least worried enough about the consequence, or had a heart enough not to punch these people. And look, that's a decision. If you're pushing versus punching in a fight, that's just you going, get off of me.
True. I'm curious though, because like the way the video ends, you don't
Yeah.
see that guy, and I'm like, he took off. Like all these other people are milling around, and I don't know. He got out of there and he skedaddled, but obviously people could figure out who he was because it's like at a game that obviously.
Well, he probably knows the fucking kid, whose kid it was, or whatever. But
But I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
I think of it,
Listen.
I'm like, how can you like that would suck if I'm at my kid's game or whatever. And
It's
I'm
a-
in
it's a
brawl and I'm getting
terrible
arrested for
situation.
beating somebody else. Come
It's a terrible situation, but the one thing that probably people will say is the worst part about it is the one thing I don't have a problem with, which is I don't care who you are. If you are fucking attacking me, I don't care if you're my girlfriend. If you're attacking me, I'm within my heights to go get the fuck off me.
Yeah. All right.
That's
well,
it. That's not a punch, a kick, nothing. That's get out of here. Get off of me.
Right. But that guy looked.
No, he's no hero. I'm just saying, once it gets to a point where people is coming at you like zombies, I don't know what the
This guy,
fuck
like,
else
he
you're gonna
saves
do.
the punches for his wife and kids.
Yeah, thank God. That's who they for in the first place. That's what God made those for in the first place. Kicks and punch. De Niro kicks, like this stomps, like.
Oh God. Oh God. It's just crazy. Here's the thing I will say. Thank God no one had guns.
That's one of the first things I was gonna say. I was like, they lucky this wasn't
Because
Florida.
there's a bunch of dead parents. All I'm
Imagine
saying.
somebody now. Okay. Now,
Because they're
having
crazy.
said,
You heard about the lady who shot the mom of 4 children because this she didn't like the kids like playing or something outside, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
had this ongoing thing, and so then the mom
yeah.
went over to talk to the lady about it, and the lady shot her through the
It
door,
bees like that sometimes.
didn't even open the door, and blew this mother away, mother of 4.
Yeah, yeah. It's shocking, but and having said that stuff's about pushing granny or whatever. Now, if it's my look when you're fighting, first of all, also I don't blame granny for doing that. She was mad, she was angry, and you know what? She got a lot of heart. So kudos to granny for having the kind of heart to go after. Because you fucking with my husband, I'll die for my husband. That's the kind of woman you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Who
That's a
at
ride or
granny
die right
age.
there. Yeah, literally.
However, I'm sorry, but that have consequence. Okay,
Yeah.
if I hone in and try to be a hero, if I see a guy beating the shit out of his woman, okay, and I hunt in there like Superman, and the guy kicks my fucking ass, that's the his guy check.
Yeah.
I'm
Agreed.
not saying he's a hero for kicking my ass. I feel like I'm in the hype, but I'm taking a calculated risk. I'm like, oh shit, well, this guy might have a knife. This guy might have a gun. So I'm checking my safety. My safety is in jeopardy. I'm putting my safety in jeopardy to be a hero.
I agree. Look, I agree. If you jump in the melee, you get what's coming. Like I get
That
it.
that's what my dad always taught me. He
Mhm.
said you better be careful because your instinct when you see a man abusing a woman is to help. He say every situation that he have stepped in and beat up a guy for doing that to his girl just out in the streets over the years, every single time when he wasn't looking, the woman who was getting beat up tried to claw his fucking eyes out or do some or
To
kick him in
defend
the
her
head
man. Right.
or every time. So he said, be fucking careful.
Yeah.
Every time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Ain't that
Well,
something?
yeah. All right. Well, so listen, it was pretty crazy though. I don't know if there's other stuff you wanted to get to. I just actually, yeah. One thing I do want to ask you about, and I know we kind of were doing the fight stuff or whatever before, but like I was saying before, like with Benny going up against Oliveira, like
Yeah.
these are two of my favorite people. I know you're obviously a jiu-jitsu guy. Like I'm just curious where you're leaning. Who do you think has the edge in this?
I'm in the same camp with you here. I'm like, I I like, I'm a fan of both of these guys fighting. Okay, so I love these guys as fighters.
Hmm.
Um, my thing is like, it's a pick 'em for me. Like it's a both in technique and in who I want to win. It's
Hmm.
like I don't have a dog necessarily.
Hmm.
If there's anything that put me over the edge, it would just be like saying, okay, well, since Benil never had his shot, give him his
Exactly.
shot. That's the
Exactly.
only thing that would push me to him.
Yeah, and
Other
that's
than that, I
really
like both of these guys.
yeah, and that's kind of how I am on this. Like for
Yeah,
so many years, these have been two of my favorite fighters,
I love
and
these guys. I
so
love the way they fight. They do
yeah,
it the right way. They fight.
exactly, exactly, and
You can't say nothing about either of these guys.
exactly, and so it's so hard because like yeah, may the best man win type of thing, but it's like
Yeah,
I love this fight and I hate it.
I do. I know. It's not as neither of them is like a close friend of mine or something. So I don't have like this. It's not like Angela versus Mackenzie.
Yeah,
That one hurt my heart. Like I
yeah.
couldn't even watch that one. In this one, I don't know either of these guys like particularly well. Like I've been around Benio and he was nice, and we got along. But we're not like he's not inviting me to Thanksgiving or something like that.
Well, yeah, and for
So
me, he's a Kings guy, and I used to go down there all the time, do interviews and stuff like that. So that's what
listen,
I'm saying. Like
yeah,
my heart is more invested in Beneil, but like I said,
yeah.
Charles, like from way back, has been one of my favorite fighters, and I was so glad when he became champion, and it was such a cool story, and I just love his style, and I love his look, and like I'm just a huge fan.
I
But
feel
yeah,
you.
same like you. The idea of having Beneil there, who's on this tear of like 8 wins in a row and who hasn't gotten his chance and who's been patient, you know, all of these
Give him
things, and who's had incredible wins. Like, I'm like, yeah, let's go, Benny. Like, let's have your time, you know. But
that's
I expect it to be an incredible fight.
Of course, that's where I'm at, too. And I think like we on the same exact page for once. I think that's I exactly the same feeling as you have here. So I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who feel the same way, you know.
Right. It's so, I mean, it is great though. I'm glad that we're actually getting this fight. But so I'm my next show for me is Phil's show in Jacksonville. But yeah, what do you have coming up, Renato? Are you doing any, you know, people always ask, are you doing seminars? Are you doing anything?
Oh God, you wouldn't they like to know? But not unlike you know, Willy Wonka, or maybe Little Orphan Annie, with the Dakota hang and stuff like that. I don't tell you right away. You have to find out, and you have to see the signals and stuff. And I come out exactly when I mean to tell you about that stuff. So all you gotta do is you gotta go into Renato_Laranja, and when the time come, I'm gonna tell you about all the goodies that I got coming.
Okay. All right.
And if you're a female, you're gonna get even more exclusive stuffs and goodies in the DM, Karyn.
Okay.
There's a lot of goodies in there.
Right.
Even more than Ovaltine. Even more than Ovaltine commercial. Drink you Ovaltine? A crummy commercial?
Stupid.
A crummy commercial?
Yeah, that's a Christmas Story, folks, for those who don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't want stuff. He doesn't want all that stuff about smugglers and pirates and all that jazz. He wants a Little Orphan Annie, boy, huh?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So so I have a new interview out with Brendan Loughnane, who is the
the Irish kid,
the PFL champ, English guy. Yeah, he's so cool. And so
I saw a little piece of that, and
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it was cool. So we just talked yesterday. He's fighting on Thursday. He is the PFL featherweight champ. You know, so it's the beginning of the next season. So last season he won $1 million. And like, so we talk all about it. Like, he literally got like a big giant check, and then he got a real one. He's like, yeah, no, literally. He's like, the next thing, he's like, all of a sudden I look, he's like, my bank account has all these zeros in it. He's like, it's the most insane. Like, it's so cool. So you got to watch this.
But isn't that something when you get the most money you've ever had in your life? It's almost like Sahil. You're like,
right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we had just like a really, I'm gonna share it. Let me just get this share.
I mean, I never got $1 million at one time. That must be a Healy something, but
right.
But God, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, what did he say? Did he ask about me? God, he probably couldn't stop talking about me. You know, go ahead.
I'm not sure that he asked about you necessarily.
But, he was playing coy.
But he's such a good dude, and so we literally, and the crazy thing is you know, he was on Contender Series, and he actually beat Bill Algeo, who's in the UFC, and I saw Bill Algeo on his short notice fight with Ricardo Lamas. He came in, right? So that could have been Brendan. So he had the fight on Contender Series. He actually won the fight. He beat Bill Algeo, but apparently Dana didn't sign him because Brendan went for like a takedown or something later in the fight, and Dana didn't like that, so he didn't sign Brendan. So he tells this whole story. He's like, I was so depressed and and like, all this stuff is going bad. He's like, the next thing you know, he's like, I know it sounds corny, but you know, he closes a door and opens a window. He's like, the next thing you know, I'm in PFL. He's like, I won $1 million. He's like,
I mean, I'm
okay.
Things worked out. And that's the thing I want to say. What I was trying to get across to Phil is like, sometimes the shit, like having to wait where you think it's your time, sometimes it's just your time is coming, and you can't. No, it's not even about what you're doing, hide or hung. It's like it's just not your time yet, and it's coming. You know.
And it's funny that you said that, because literally earlier today and yesterday I was just like, okay, I've been patient, but yeah, it's seasonal. It's your time, and I'm like, okay, so when is my time coming? Because as much as we do all think, but I'm working so hard and I'm ready and I'm doing this. You know, I guess I have to sort of sometimes let go and subscribe to the idea of where we're supposed to be. And
Yeah.
if it isn't here yet, it's because it isn't time yet. Like I do have my life mantra, which is if it's meant for me, it will come to me, which is
Yeah.
comforting in times of stress. But at the same time, I'm like, well, where the hell is the stuff that's meant for me? Because I need it now. Like, where
I
is it?
understand, but you
Yeah.
know what? Another thing we gotta remember, the fantasies of all this shit that we want is very different than the reality.
Mhm.
Because if you really think back to like, let's think about some of the most exciting shit that ever happened to you, like these breaks that you had or whatever, that might have happened in MTV or anything in the past, like
Mhm.
whatever was the biggest assignment or whatever. When it was happening, it looked and felt a lot like this.
What do you mean?
You was looking out your two eyeballs, you was breathing air. It
Oh, and it
nothing
just
is
showed up, you mean? And it,
it's no, I'm just saying it's just heal life. It's not any more spectacular than what we're doing right now. All the things that you think about this fantasy shit that's like, where's mines and all that stuff. When it comes, it looks and feels a lot like just this.
except it has money attached to it.
I understand, but I'm just trying to like,
I don't know if you understand how badly I need money.
okay, that is a thing. That is, of course, that's a thing. And I've been down and out. I've been below sea level before. I understand needing money.
Let's just say
Yes,
people don't really understand, but like
I
my
understand needing
situation
money.
that I got out of left me
Okay,
in a
I do understand that.
terrible spot.
I do understand that. But I'm talking about in terms of like quote unquote success
I do know what you mean. It makes
aside from the
at the
money.
end of the day, you're going to be that same person, whether or not you're hosting that show or doing that thing or got your album out or got whatever. Like at the end of the day, you're still this dude sitting here. Right?
And I mean, a lot of these things that I remember being on like a TV show, and the kid version of me was praying for that shit, you know? And then I remember sitting there with like some of the other cast members and being like, anybody know, what time we're supposed to be happening today?
You're like,
And
I
then I
used to
caught,
dream about this.
I caught myself and I go, I might as well be working at a fucking clothing store, folding clothes. Like I was like, it felt exactly the same. Like the coworkers, it was just in a
Mhm.
different location and it was for a different amount of money. But and what were we thinking about on the shitty TV show? We was thinking like, well, yeah, we made it to this, but I want to be on this kind of show,
Right,
and
but
then
we'll
I
be
want to be
starring
on
in a
a
movie, right?
movie,
Yeah.
and then I don't just want to be on a movie. I want to be the star in the movie, and then I want to have this, and I want to have the, and then at a certain point, it's like, when are you ever smelling the hoses? When are you
Well,
ever
I'll be
enjoying
happy
the process?
when I actually get that late night TV show that I really want, which is basically which is what's so funny about it, because I agree with everything you're saying. Because
Yeah,
honestly, what we're doing right now is, I would say, a big percentage of what I want my quote unquote
yeah,
real show to be, right?
yeah.
It's just that I want us to be able to have
I
the
know.
audience that we deserve and that we
Yeah,
should
this
have,
is true, and I
and that
want
the
that
people,
too.
that's what I'm saying. Like we have such a great guest list. We do
Yeah,
funny things. Like we do so much more
yeah,
than people know. And like that's what I'm saying. I want the platform
yeah,
because at the end of the day, yes, you and I are still going to be these same two goofy whatever people. Like it's not
yeah,
going to change who we are. We've done this long enough that it's not going to change who we are. Like I just know, like honestly, part of my thing is just that like I have really good ideas and I think people will enjoy them. And I
yeah.
just want to
You're
share these
right.
things because I
I
think
agree.
they're gonna be things that people like. And it's
Yeah,
not like, oh, I want to do this so that I can get rich and say F you to everybody in the world. It's like, no, like these are ideas that I think could like
yeah,
help people or be entertaining or that are different. Like
yeah.
and I've worked this hard for this many years. Like I'm supposed to be getting the payoff that I put my time in for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's that
I
feeling.
my only observation was that I can completely agree with that. I get
Yeah.
it, but that I hope for your sake, for your own happiness, that it's not an all or nothing situation, because that thing feels like the all and like as if this is the nothing, and I feel like it is like to at
I'm
least
not like that.
honor and respect the fun and the immediacy of what's happening to us right now in real life. Like like we can sometimes make the future,
Yeah,
a thought of the future, more important than life itself.
for sure, 100%. And I
This
do.
is it.
This is it. This is it. And it's so interesting because I so try to, because I know I do that. I worry about the future, and there's a whole like worrying is like praying for something you don't want. So I worry
Mm.
about the future, but that's also because I'm a parent and I worry about taking care of and
Of course,
making
of
sure
course.
that my kid is taken care of. So most of my stress is not worrying about me. It's worrying like, am I going to have enough to take care of her and like do the things that I need to do or whatever.
Might I suggest not worrying about what happens to your kids, or if they, or letting
It's so
them just
liberating worrying about your
leaving them up
children.
to their own devices? Because I have enough respect for these people to let them to just be
Let them live their
themselves.
lives and figure it out. But you're right. I do, and it's funny because I do make sure that I live in the moment for exactly that. Like at work, whenever I'm there, I'm like, holy crap! Like, yeah, this is the greatest thing. If anything, it's just that I want more of that feeling. You know what I mean? I want to
I
do it more,
understand.
and I want more of it. But I am
Yeah,
very, very cognizant when I'm there at work and when I'm doing these things that literally I'm
yeah,
sitting there and I'm like, holy crap! I'm here with the Hall of Famer, and we're looking at these people, and like we like any fight, like any of these people 2 years from now could be a champion or whatever. Like
yeah,
I relish telling their stories and helping them. Like
yeah,
I am so in love with what I get to do that it's
yeah.
really is.
I
I
don't
just
know
want
what
to do
hellish
more of
have to
it.
do with it, sauerkraut or any of that, but I'm kind of following you. But and the thing is, I don't want to make it like I'm coming from some place on high, like I'm some kind of guru or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm talking to myself.
right.
What I understand is that it's a human thing to be caught up in the fucking future. It's
Yeah,
it's the plague of the fucking human animal to be fucking thinking too much, okay,
yeah,
about shit that ain't happening. Um, but all I'm saying is like I'm talking to myself too. Is a daily struggle to snap yourself out of it and breathe the fucking air.
yeah.
I had this thought the other day when I was tripping about something in my bed. I was just thinking about all this shit I gotta do or something I'm not happy about. Caralho. And I noticed I wasn't breathing.
But the waterbed was kind of
True, and I felt like I was at sea, like I was lost at sea in the water.
adrift at sea.
Yeah, I was adrift, huh? Like Robinson Crusoe. Um, and then I had this kind of thought to myself that when I'm thinking in the future, I can't really be there and I can't even breathe. Like like on Total Recall, he's on Mars and he can't fucking breathe. In there, I can't breathe. And I just went and breathed in the oxygen of now, of where I'm at. And I was like, here I can fucking breathe. And I was like, I'm here.
Mhm.
I'm alive, porra. And then I just thought like, yeah, I can't breathe out there, man. I can't be out there. I have to fucking be here. Here's where I
Yeah,
can. I'm drowning out there. I'm not even there, man. I'm
that makes a
here.
lot of sense.
You
That
know.
makes a lot of sense.
So
And I do, I,
so
I do the
yeah,
same thing where I'm now when I'm at night and yeah, when I'm trying to fall asleep and I can't because I'm thinking about all the things I worry about. I'm like, yep, you're right. You do need to do that. And then I try to just process it and move along. It's like, you're
yeah.
not going to solve that right now. And like you're right
Sometimes
though.
even a pencil and
Exactly. Write
paper
it down and then get it out. I
and
haven't done
close
that, but
that
I
shit.
I
Yeah.
might start doing that because I did read that. Like if you write it down right,
It
right
it
before bed, write down your
it helps
worries.
me.
Yeah, I
It
might actually
helps
start
me.
doing that.
Yeah, it's so simple, but it's powerful because it's like you even say to yourself, okay, is there something I can do about it now? And maybe there is. Maybe there's a phone call you can make.
Right.
Sometimes the answer is yes, but most times the answer is no.
Right. I'm probably not going to lose 15 pounds right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or any fucking thing you're worried about.
Right.
And then so you go, and then also you think, okay, what's my job height now?
Yeah.
And really, sometimes like Hest and recuperation is very important. So like even though it seems like you're doing nothing by sitting there like a bump on a log laying down, what you're doing is vital. And right now, your job is to fucking relax. Your
Exactly.
job is to rest.
100%. Dude, listen, I
Yeah.
last night I finally got some sleep and maybe slept for like 10 hours or something. And when I got up
Oh
today,
God,
I was like,
10
I
hours.
didn't work out and I didn't do this. And I go, you know what, KB? Today your body needed the rest more than it needed you to jump
Yeah.
rope. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
very important. A lot of people don't take advantage of that. Sleep is
Yeah.
vital.
Yeah.
And more and more information is coming out, science about how important sleep is. It's more important than they ever thought it was.
And if we're being completely candid, Omega, the answer is yes.
You want to do something?
It wasn't made by it.
KB, I got a great idea. You want to
It
do
wasn't
something
made
strange
by
for a
me.
little piece of
It
change?
was and it wasn't. So let's just put it that way. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was something
Well, it
that I
doesn't matter.
tried
You
to
still
fight
got the
for
dash
years
for
and
her.
years and years and years and years. Fought it for years and years and years and years and years, and couldn't. And so if you want to know the truth, it's a big part of why I left. And
if you
so
want to
now
do
I'm digging
something for
myself
me,
out of it. And so now I only have me. And like if we're being completely candid, I was crying about it earlier today because I was completely stressed out. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. And I don't know what I'm going to do to make money. And I don't want to sell pictures of my feet. And I don't want to do OnlyFans. But literally every single day, I think, do I have to do this to make the money? So I honestly am in a
desperation for her.
in a ridiculous panic about how much money I need to come up with. But then I go, you know what? I'm not going to fix it today. And like, I can maybe take a baby step or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's not going to get solved. So when I go to bed and I know that that's looming over my head, like I go, okay, yeah, it's going to be here tomorrow too. And like, I can't fix it right now. So try to get some sleep. But it totally sucks. And it sucks having a thing over your head that like you didn't create, that like you were forced to deal with that. Like, you're like, well, what am I going to do? Because it seems overwhelming.
Yes. And I think almost every single human being listening to this right now can relate to it. Everybody have been in that situation. I find that my life is a tapestry, is a mosaic of me being on one part of that scale or another, and it never goes just to outer
I've
space.
had it to where I had absolutely zero debt. And
Exactly. So one thing I also try to remember, I know this is all, look, you know this stuff, but another thing I try to remember sometimes is like, even when you're making money, you start worrying that the spigot's gonna turn off at some point, you know,
mindset,
and you start getting into the like, oh, I don't want this kind of lifestyle to end or whatever. And then I think that when you come from poverty or you come from meager beginnings, there's this tendency to, when you start to make some money and some success, to start to make, that's who I am now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that person anymore. Now I'm this, you know? And then you hold on to like, it could go away. So what will happen to me? You know what I mean? You want to be that person, a person who have money and shit. But then you have to realize that it's like more like your situation is good.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm gonna be okay, even though I panic. Like I'll have a moment of like abject panic where I'm like, I'm literally paralyzed with fear and like, what am I gonna do? And then a minute later, I'm like, yeah, but yo, KB, you're KF and B, like you're gonna figure it out.
True, but I think there's something to be said for, even when you're balling out of control, to realize that it's not really you. It's your situation, your luck, your fortune.
It really isn't me. It really isn't me.
Your fortune. No, I know, but I'm just saying. Aside from the shit about that, I'm saying, even when let's take it away from the not having. Even when shit is crazy good for you, even that, to not be attached to it and go, look, even though I'm doing great, that's not who I am. It's just I happen to be doing well right now.
Don't equate your identity with what you're doing, or your goal or your current situation, because you're right.
So when the shit goes away, if it goes away, I'm not a piece of shit. Like, I'm not my situation. It's a situation.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, and honestly, and that is the thing, is that I do like to think that I haven't let, these awful things that are going on change who I am. If anything, maybe they solidify some things and like give you more resolve, or make you, whatever. But I do know over the last couple of years, if I'm honest, like there are things about me that have gotten like meaner and like less patient and things like that, because of the situation. And then I recognize it. And then it's like, well, that makes me sad that I'm not who I am, but it's like the situation is kind of forcing, whatever. Like, you are a product of your environment sometimes, right? And so it's a tough thing, because like I can recognize changes that have come because of the situation. And then I'm like upset that I changed because I don't want to be that way. Do you know what I mean? And so you're like even
Yeah.
in more of a hurry to resolve the
Listen,
situation so you can get back to being who you are.
I don't want to diminish what you're going through. I
Yeah.
just want to hoot. I want to hoot for you, and you know,
Well, thank you. And I
we
don't
can
want to do
see.
OnlyFans. So please, people, help spread the word about this show
Yeah,
and help
spread the
us
word
make
about the
money an
show.
honest way.
Yeah. And would it kill you guys to let go of a couple $1,000 right now
I
for
don't well
for
listen, Justin Jones is saying we need some merch, and Renato, I know you have merch, and my daughter is this incredible artist, and she's gonna draw some stuff for us too that we can maybe make t-shirts and things into.
Hey, I'm
And
all
I
for that.
literally I had an idea that like there might be a thing like with fans, if you guys see parts of the show that you think are funny, and you know how you can like remix things or whatever
Yeah.
on YouTube, on like remix like bits of the show, or how
Well,
Renato makes clips. Like if you guys remix these things and can send them to me, like I can upload, your highlights and put them here on YouTube and stuff like that too. Like you guys could be part of like our how like people used to have street teams and stuff like that. Like if you
uh-huh.
guys come up with cool things of clips or bit these interviews, send them to me and I'll put them here on YouTube too and
Yeah.
help like or on
And
IG or whatever and like help share. Yeah.
from having been a person who have had merch and also had a podcast before, I think of those two, the thing that we really need to have if you want to make like considerable money is we got to have sponsor,
Yeah.
okay, more so than the merch, because I'm gonna be honest with you,
I
you got
know.
to sell a lot of fucking merch and it's a heel pain in the fucking ass.
Because I
It's
want to
more
price the merch so that
it,
people can actually afford it. So
exact,
then
and especially if you do that you ain't gonna make shit,
right.
okay, and and people is never satisfied and it's a
So you
heel.
have all your ghee sponsors, Hanata. Where are all your ghee
I used to.
sponsors?
I used to. I don't have a gi sponsor no more. The gi sponsor I've gotten also, that's another thing. You can also get fucked by certain sponsors. I'm not gonna
100%.
say any fucking names. But anyway, so I think that the first step is to get some sponsors for this show, and I think the show is deserves some sponsor. But that's a fair way to get you bang for your buck here,
Yeah.
because we've built something here and then they get something out of it, we get something out of it. But you would be very depressed, to say the least, if you saw how much you got coming to you
Oh,
after
I
some
know.
of the
People, that's what I'm saying. Like
the
people get mad. Like
merchandise.
there's so little money in MMA. That's the other part about it is
But the
like
merchandise, not the sponsor, the
no,
merchandise.
I know.
Yeah,
But even in sponsorship too, it's like it's not like the NFL. Like even still,
yeah.
the quote unquote big money in MMA is still not like what you can get
No, not at
in
all,
other
not at all.
sports.
But
Yeah.
but it's nothing to scoff at. I've
Oh
had
no,
some
not at
stuff where
all.
I'm
And
like,
listen,
yeah,
believe me, like I'm saying, we need to like hit up our friends and different
yeah,
things and figure some stuff out because
yeah. But
um
merchandise almost ends up being like you're throwing a bone to like people who like is like you're just doing something almost for the fan. You know what I mean? Like you just
yes. Well, thank you, Anakin, saying the show will be huge. Mark my words, just keep making
yeah.
progress. I mean, look, we're trying, and like we were saying, this is episode 86. We started this in the fall of 2021,
Shit,
just for giggles, really.
for
And then
shits and giggles.
it's become consistent. And I know you were saying, like, we are really good. Like the only time coming up is like this is actually we should talk about this because after I'm in Florida, like I'm gonna stay there. And so maybe
Mhm.
that Tuesday night I might need a day off because I'll just be in Florida, like chilling with my mom.
Oh, oh, la di da. Oh
But maybe not. We might can do
no,
something where we check in or something. But then the other thing I was going to say is I don't know how the holiday works this year, but like the 4th of July is actually
mm.
on a Tuesday. So do people have the barbecues like on Monday and is Tuesday?
I'm
Whatever?
gonna
Like
bring
I don't
out
know
my
how it works
rendition.
on. Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
gonna
how
do
it
a
works.
Yankee Doodles dandy that is going to knock your socks. We should do a
Well,
telethon, a Yankee Doodle dandy event.
if not, I was going to say like depending on that week, maybe we do it on Monday or maybe we do something at a different time. Like because I think 4th of July comes on a Tuesday and I didn't know what we were going to do.
I think the founding fathers would frown upon that one. I'm kidding. You know me. I'm open for whatever, So
I don't know.
we'll
Well,
find
I
out.
also just don't know, like, if we're gonna have a guest type thing. People want to do their own thing. You know what I mean? Like, all I'm saying is, yeah. Like, but in general, we've been incredibly consistent. These are on Stitcher, Amazon Music,
I could get
Spotify, Apple
former.
Podcasts.
I could get former Mayor Marion Barry. Would you like him? We can have him. It can be politics. The Capitol Hill. We can talk about that.
Yeah,
And we can talk about freebase. Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Anyway, I do. People like, oh my God, Joe Rogan started with Fleshlight as his sponsor. That's horrible. Oh my
You
God,
know what? That's true.
is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
Hey, well,
remember
listen,
when it
that's
was just, listen, I was there. I remember when the beginnings of all that shit. It's funny how that have become so big. Yeah.
well, it's true. I do think back, like I do think like it's going to be fun when because I do enjoy the journey. Like as much as I'm anxious about a lot of things. This is always really fun, and we have done some incredible things.
Hmm.
And really, it's like when I do look back, like when I'm going through and doing the time codes and what
Hmm.
watching something, like I'm cracking up watching my own show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know it's good. Like I know it's good
Yeah.
because I'm entertained, even though I'm not, and like it's funny, and I get it.
For
So
sure.
I think there's a lot we can do, and I just, I do hope that people know. Like, and I in my brain, I've got all these promos and things that I want to cut, and I just need the time to cut them
Yeah.
and put them together because we have an incredible guest list, and
Yeah. And you're on the high track. Everything, we're getting there. We're getting there. I know it's slow going sometime, and it's true. We don't have the amount of people that would want to watch versus the people that is watching. There's a big chasm there.
right,
You know, it used to be Instagrammy used to be such a powerful tool. I used to be able to talk to the same amount of followers I have would hear what I have to say.
hmm
Now, like a 0.5% or whatever of your followers see what the fuck you're talking about. So you don't have the same bullhorn that you used to have.
yeah.
It's a big problem.
Well,
I don't know how to compensate for that.
well, one
It
thing we
has
can do.
changed.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing we can do, and which I've even noticed, for example, in just for a mini little thing right before we wrap it up here, but even with the interview I just did with Brendan Loughnane, right? So I put the full interview up,
Mm.
and then I made I made that little short about the part where he was talking about the people popping
Yeah.
for roids, and I get that that's like a hotter topic or whatever.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
right now, so YouTube Shorts is a thing now that like is doing better.
True.
So
They
in
trying
that
to
same
make
amount of
like
time,
TikTok.
right, the
Yeah.
short got more views or whatever than the full interview in like less time and all this stuff. So I was just reading something the other day because now I'm like getting more, aware of all this
Savvy.
stuff. But so people are even they're starting to say some influencers are jumping from Instagram and TikTok over to YouTube Shorts. So some of those things that you put on Instagram on your Insta, like I'm saying, if you send them to me and we put them on YouTube, they will help us there because the shorts are starting to take off on YouTube.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we got our homework to check out
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, enough. Don't want to regale them with all the ins and the outs of the
I was just
fucking
gonna say, folks,
promotion
but
of the show here.
yeah, but so as you know, Chase was our guest last week. Chase Super, that was a lot of fun. Tim Elliott the week before. We've had a lot of really cool people on here lately, and yeah, you can get these audio downloads as well. Stitcher, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. This is hilarious, as if it's so easy to.
I
get
saw
John
that. I
Rogan.
saw that.
It's like, oh sure,
I saw that.
of
Yeah.
course. Of
You know,
course.
I've gotten shout outs on there, but I never got the fucking invites. I can't. You can't make people.
You can't make
know.
people invite you on, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love
Yeah.
Joe, and we get along great. I can't
Yeah.
make him invite us on,
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hold
So.
your breath. So anyway,
Anyway, Renato, yes, where can people find you?
Renato _ Laranja, but they already knew that.
Alrighty. And yeah, so again, folks, check out the interview with Brendan. He's fighting on Thursday. That'll be on ESPN. So it's the beginning of season 4. And he's, already, and it's interesting because we were talking about that. He's like, no, it's tough with the tournament, and some people are like, oh, you just won the tournament. He's like, no, I'm the GD champ. He's like, I'm the champ. You know what I mean? And so he beat Bubba Jenkins for it to win the $1 million last time. And the low kicks were killing. And so I think it's going to be a good fight on Thursday. And then, of course, on Saturday, we have UFC 289. Chidi picked Irene Aldana for the upset against Amanda Nunes. So
it's going to be exciting.
It is going to be exciting. But yes, folks, we do thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We got to thank Philly Fresh Phil Rowe for being here with us. If you missed any of that, go back and check it out. He hung out with us for a really long time. So that was cool.
Very long time. Yeah.
That was awesome. But Hanach, it is always a pleasure. You know that.
Yeah. I'll go on.
And I'm excited that you didn't have any major hiccups tonight with your Wi-Fi.
I tried a couple of stuffs, and maybe it's coincidence or maybe it's something.
We'll see.
I like it.
I don't know.
Whatever it is.
I don't know. I also
All
got backup stuff. So I bought a fucking a fucking expensive webcam. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah,
I
listen,
try.
we're leveling up. We're gonna be
I try. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. Okay, everyone. Until next time, me. Ciao.
All right, folks. We'll see you later. Bye.